In Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic. It's time now for Cuz Radio.
What up, Cuz?
Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Talking with the Cuz.
Yo, Cuz, how you doing?
Stairs rips one into the night.
Stolen by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Look, Cuz, don't even try it, okay?
Now here's Anthony Gargano.
Why don't you get the hell out of here, Cuz?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday to all across the Delaware Valley. By the way, if you work outside, please be careful because the next 3 days are going to be nasty, right? We already saw it. Nasty heat coming your next 3 days. So just watch yourself. All right, lots to get to today. Good win by the Phillies. Take 2 or 3 from Baltimore. Like, that was a nice win yesterday. That was a good win by the Phillies to win that series against the Orioles. I thought that was key. Good team, obviously, in the American League. And it was good. Turner gets the rests. So today's the off day. So that's a good thing. Fightings could be going on a little bit of a roll. So that's great. I got a couple of things I got to get to today. So yesterday, it comes out, and this is something I'm dying to talk about. So yesterday, it comes out that Jalen Hurts said the show Quarterback on Netflix, he was approached by the producers of the show to do it and to be a part of it, and he would be one of the quarterbacks. He turned it down, and that was going into last year. Then they approached him again because they're very successful that doing it this year for it to come out, at the end of the season. And he declined once again. And I thought, wow, my first reaction was I just love him. I do. I love everything about him because he's unique. He's unique to today's athlete. He is all about his craft. Like, I mean, I can't tell you, I've been doing this a long time, as you know, and if I think back to the hardest working people in town, like truly just grinded at all times, I got to tell you, I don't see anyone at quarterback beating Jalen Hurts. And if now, I don't know. I'm sure Jaws. I know Jaws was a hard worker or whatever, but I mean, I was a kid. Randall, Jalen by far, Donovan, Jalen, all those guys, Vic, and those guys. I mean, you work and all, but Jalen is almost obsessed. Wentz used to get that notion he was a hard worker, this and that, but he was just stubborn. He might have worked hard, but he was stubborn about things. Jalen, his work ethic is just incredible. And he's obsessed, right? He's obsessed with being great. And I thought it was, beautiful, absolutely beautiful that all he wants to do is play football. So I laud him for his decision to turn down Netflix. So I got a guy. How about this? He's the guru. Now, he's a buddy of mine, and I love the dude, but the guru and I often do not see things the same way. And the guru hits me up, and I always appreciate his contribution to the show, but he hits me up on a text board, and he goes, I don't think it was great that Hurts turned down this opportunity. I think it's selfish. I think Hurts is being selfish and should do it for his fans. And let that hang out for a second. It's selfish, not impressive. And I got to tell, then he takes a cheap shot. All right, there's Jackal. The producer's probably saying if he did the show, he may not fumble on the touchdown in the Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? I got to tell you, I actually was annoyed by that. But he may not alone. So I said, well, totally disagree. Not everybody is social media whore, an attention whore, bragging about themselves. Me. And I love the fact that Jalen Hurts just wants to play football. And I'll go as far as to say that, because he goes, his response is, well, he goes, I don't think any of the three quarterbacks in the show came off as bragging. I think it's great for the fans, and I'm disappointed that we're not going to see behind the scenes of our team. Like seeing how Mahomes' injuries all played out on the sideline, I thought was golden. And yes, it was. He said, my opinion is the majority of the fans would love to watch the show because he doesn't want a couple extra cameras around is selfish. Because that only one benefiting from that decision is Jalen. He can't make the argument it's to focus on the game because Mahomes proved that argument totally moot last year. I would have thought he'd be anxious to get back and win this season and want to document every moment of the journey. And I so heavily disagree with that statement. Listen, the only obligation that Jalen Hurts has to the fans is to play great quarterback and to work as hard as possible. And then when he meets people, to be cordial. Now, you want him to be nice and, love kids and the whole thing. And, I think that's a part of it. I think, they're part of your responsibility in the spotlight is to be that guy that is a conduit for the team. You could be the face of the Eagles and, you do the right thing. And I'll just leave it as pretty general as you do the right thing. We all know what that is. All right? That's what meet people in public. It's a public job. People are going to fawn on over you. Don't be rude to anybody, especially with children. That's pretty simple. But as far as doing a television show where you have cameras, that is not his responsibility to the fan base. Because he doesn't want the cameras. And that has nothing to do with wanting to get back to the Super Bowl. That's completely inane. It's ridiculous. And in fact, it's the height of selfishness from the fan, in this case, the guru, for actually projecting that. Like, they're not there completely for your amusement. And that's what it reminds me of, that line in Goodfellas. What am I here for, your amusement? Is that what I'm here for? I mean, I thought that was completely out of line. He doesn't feel comfortable with cameras. He's not a show-off. He's not a guy that's going to go out and look at me. He's not Ben Simmons, look at me in the lab with no shirt. Right? That's not him. That's not what he does. All he does is work. All he wants is football. And I completely applaud that. In fact, I can't tell you. And, hey, from the moment I doubted him every step of the way last year, from that playoff game against Tampa, threw me for a loop. And I doubted. I don't know. Now, I wanted to see him. I wanted to get an opportunity to see him, but I doubted it. And he worked so hard to revamp everything. And he grew, and yes, the second year in his system and everything else, he did all that. And I can't tell you the amount of respect that I have for him as an athlete, as a quarterback. I mean, that's the type of guy you want. That's the type of young athlete that you want on your team. I have so much respect for that dude. Now, do I want to know him? Yeah, sure. I don't. People are, because somebody else chimed in, not as harsh as the guru, but said, don't you want to know him? Because we don't know anything about him. And I go, yeah, I guess. But not to the behest that makes him uncomfortable. If it makes him uncomfortable, then, far be it from me to want to know about him and all his deepest, darkest thoughts. Like, give people space. One of the problems that we have today in social media is everything's on blast. Everybody's life is on blast. Some things don't need to be on blast. Some things you could just be, kept to yourself. So I don't need to go to Jalen Hurts and turn him inside out. So I feel like I know him. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And the fact that the guru will go as far as to say he's being selfish incensed me. Completely incensed me. What do we expect from our athletes? We talked about the superstars yesterday, right? I mean, it is what it is. You want them, A, to win, right? To be the best player they can be. And then everything else, if they're entertaining, whatever, if we're going to keep it 100, I still, to this day, love AI, right? I love AI. AI was not he was better with the collective. Like, he was better at the crowd, like embracing the crowd as opposed to embracing the individual Sixer fan. Like, you probably didn't want to meet AI during his day. Now it's probably different, mellow, the whole thing. But back in the day, you probably didn't want to meet Allen out at the eighth floor, right? Like, you don't want to meet him. It probably wasn't going to be, what's up, baby? Let's go get a cocktail. And, like, that's not happening. But he was better with the collective, and that's what it is. You didn't really need to know all the sort of details involving Allen's luck. Now, were they interesting? Yeah, it's kind of what I'm dying to do a limited TV scripted series on him. But you didn't really need it. With Jalen, like, it's his prerogative not to be a freaking whore. Or as Rocky would say, a whore. Yeah, a whore. He doesn't need to be an attention whore. He just wants to play football. And I go, dude, I feel you. And I just raise a glass and say, salute. You want to be a football player, and all you care about is football. God bless. I'm a football fan. I'm going to watch every week. So I want to get into this conversation as to what we expect from our athletes and what's right. And I want to get into Hurts. Today's a deep conversation involving Jalen Hurts. Good morning, Dickie Dunn.
Good morning, Anthony.
Where do you line up?
Oh, I'm right there with you. I don't think it's selfish. Sure, would I like to know? But if he doesn't want me to know, I don't care. If he wants to focus on football, he doesn't want to be a part of the series, I'm in. I don't need him walking around wherever he's living, telling me this, that, the other thing. I'll take all my cliches if it keeps me in W's. That's all good with me. I don't think it's selfish. I think whatever he wants, he's the athlete. He's got the choice. Go ahead. You don't want to be a part of the quarterback? Fine with me. I don't need to push.
Well, quite frankly, I'll go as far as say it's none of my business.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not he wants to be on the show, and, as an Eagle fan, it's none of my business. It's up to you. You want to do it? Great. I'll watch it. You don't want to do it? So be it. Like, well, I don't even understand it. In fact, I'm going to invite the guru on the show today, so it's not a completely one-sided avalanche against him. So I'll let him make his point to you guys and to you, Dickie Dunn. But I for the life of me, now I don't know if it's generational or what, but I was shocked by it. Like it was to the point where I went on and I wanted to do an ode to Jalen today, right? Because we're doing quarterback week, and I kind of really wanted to talk about him today. Camp, first practice yesterday, the whole thing. But all that said, right? I like my first reaction was it's fabulous. Like this kid, he never fails to make me proud of him. He really does. Like I just go, wow, and I feel fortunate that he's the quarterback because I just think they're in good hands with that kid. And I thought it was a throwaway statement when I went, wow, man, that's awesome. I completely appreciate it. I didn't expect the pushback that I got.
I'm shocked you got any. I didn't think there would be pushback on this one. I didn't think there could be a side of, wow, that's selfish of Jalen Hurts for not wanting to do it. Not wanting to do it twice. Like, it's awesome. Good for him. You know, he doesn't want to do it. Well, we're going to sit there and say, no, we're fine with the camera crew. Come on.
I know.
And he definitely turned down, forget the attention. He definitely turned down good money for that. I mean, especially this year. Because when I think of headliners, when they think, because they told you, you're going to get to see Mahomes in season 1. People are, yeah, sure, you'll show up to see Cousins, Mariota. But, we get to see Mahomes? Season 2, your headliner is Jalen Hurts. Can he do it again? People all over the country are going to be tuned in for that. He had to turn down something lucrative to do it, and that's his business to do it. So good for him in that regard. Live your life the way you want to.
Yep.
I don't see why it'd be selfish of him.
No, dude, and that's a big deal. Like listen, I think it's a great conversation to be had, and we'll get up the guru. I don't want to beat up the guru, but I want to beat up his point. If he wants to, again, he can, defend it or make his argument or whatever it is, and I'm sure that there are other people out there that feel the same way. That they feel this sense of entitlement to the athlete, that they want to know everything about him. So I'm curious. In fact, the guru is on the line. Oh, this will be good. Let me just make sure he's here. Guru?
Ed.
Yo. Now I want to,
buddy.
Yeah. All right. So I want you to hold on. All right.
Okay.
Because I'm going to give you all the chance in the world to make your point. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
As ridiculous as it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm with you.
All right. Hold on. All right. Coming up. See that there, Dickie Dunn? See, we set it up nicely.
Oh, yeah.
I just put him in you know what I did for the guru? I put him in the middle of the room. All right? And I put salami all over him. And ham and turkey and steak. And then around him, as he sits in the chair, bathing in salami, I have a group of ferocious, hungry dogs. Hungry dogs run faster. You understand?
Oh, I understand.
There's a lot.
I got you.
And they're emaciated. And they're hungry. And they're looking at Guru bathed in salami. And they're just licking their chops. All right. We'll have some fun today. It's a Thursday as we move closer to August, Thursday, July the 27th. Well, we're getting there, folks. We're getting there. It's going to be hot, so keep cool. It's Cuz Radio. Dickie Dunn in for the Tunis as we hang out. Let's talk about Colonial Marble and Granite. Have you made the decision that, listen, we need to make sure we get the kitchen done, right? And you're thinking, it's never too soon. We just had Christmas in July, right? So for the holidays, you might be thinking, we got to get the kitchen done for the holidays. If that's the case, just go, please, I urge you, go to Colonial Marble and Granite. They are, when it comes to you redoing your kitchen, your bathroom, and they're showstoppers, okay? Incredible. Right now, get a fully installed granite countertop for just $14.99. Up to a 40-square-foot all-in kitchen for $69.99. That includes countertops, cabinetry, sink and faucet package. Colonial offers zero money down, 0% financing for up to 18 months on purchases of $19.99 or more. Stop by one of their showrooms. They're going to guide you through your project from selection through installation. They have an incredible design team headed up by Sandra. The Papadopoulos family is going to take great care of you, all right? They had the largest slab yard in the world, over 55,000 square feet of marble, granite, quartz stones from all over the world. Just give them a call and set up a free in-home consultation, okay? colonialmarble.net is the website. Check it out. Give them a shout. Set up that free in-home consultation and tell them Cuz sent you.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies take
wait a second. Time out. Time out. Before we get into this debate, because I got the guru on the line to talk about his idiotic stance about Jalen Hurts and the TV show. So we have a nice visitor today. We have a nice charity, great guy who bid on a wonderful charity. I'll tell you all about it. And so our friends at Primo's are sending over sandwiches, right? And in fact, so I'm trying to get everybody's order because we want to get everybody. Everybody loves the Primo's and everybody has their order. And the bro and Tunis are in later, so I take care of my boys. I love them. So I texted both of them what their order was. So let me ask you a question. In your mind, it was a group text. Who answers back first?
Jamie, easily.
Right?
Yeah, there's no way.
I said the same thing. Jamie would be, he would, in Guru's terms, because he's a big bettor, I go Guru would make Jamie a 3-1 favorite.
Oh, big time.
Minus 300. How about the Tunis?
Well, food. I guess we underestimated him on that one.
The Tunis is first. He responded first. He said the baby monitor was on the phone, so it popped up when I was looking at it. And
it's impressive.
He said, "Sorry, Coop. Survival of the fittest." So thanks to our friends at Primo Hoagies, Ardmore Primos. My man Pat is going to hook it up. But so we're getting everybody's order, and Haley, what was Haley's order?
So it's a hoagie with turkey, lettuce, spinach, cucumbers, pickles, mayo.
I mean, is that just vomit on a roll?
Yeah.
What is she doing? First of all, you can't go like that. That's a violation to order that kind of sandwich. Like, for spinach, stone violation, hell. Stone. Pickles, you're throwing. Just get a normal sandwich. Just go, I want a turkey without all this craziness. Pickles and mayo. Oh, well.
I can't do the mayo.
But it's too specialty, though. That's my real point. It's too specialty, no?
Yeah, unless they got the Haley on the menu.
Right.
You're missing out.
You can't go with that. Really, that's a sense of entitlement. Goes right back to the guru. Where somebody's offering you a primo, don't complicate it. Just get a sandwich. Like I ask you, and you go, give me Italian. Boom. That's
it's over.
No specialty, this, that. Haley is like the guru. I'm entitled to my spinach and pickles and mayo.
I was trying to review other orders to see if anyone else come across as complicated. Looks like the Haley's the one that's.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's high maintenance. You know a lot about, in the Bronx Tale, the test, which was, will she open the door for you? Well,
Yep.
Nowadays different, but with cars, but will she open the door for you was very accurate. Now you could do the Primo test, which is if she orders a hoagie like that, she's a high maintenance girl. That's the truth.
Primo test.
It's the
Fellas, go out there, execute the Primo test. You'll find out fast.
You know what I mean, Cologio? You're going to be C. Dickie Dunn. You got to give your girl, I know you having the girlfriend, and give her the Primo test.
That's good. Check in with her.
She starts hitting you with pickles and spinach and mayo, you might have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
You're going to find out a lot.
Oh, that's great. T. Will, it's your fault for asking. Should have just ordered a couple Johns and called it a day. And I could have easily said, just send over some trays. But I was trying to be nice and get everybody what they like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, try to take care of everyone here.
Do I need to go take orders? No, but, I like to take care of everybody.
Right.
So I
nice of you.
Texted Pat. Pat from Ardmore Primo was doing it.
Nice of them, too. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate you.
All right, let me get the guru up here so he can state his case. Good morning, Guru.
Going on, fellas?
How are you, buddy?
Corbin Schwartzy for me, Ant.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you want me to start with my argument? You want me to present?
Listen, I want you to explain to the audience as you sit there, bathed in a turkey Schwartzy, with all the fans out there ready to take a bite out of you. Explain your stance. All right, I'm going to give you, and again, I will not interrupt you, so you'll have as long as you need to explain your stance.
All right, ready? So let's start the timeline, right? So I hear you talking about the show first, and I actually just want to hate it, just based off what I hear from you. I put it off for a couple of weeks. Finally, one night, there's nothing on TV. I turn on Netflix, expecting to hate this show. It was unbelievable in my eyes, man. Like, the way, first off, I loved Hard Knocks, but this took Hard Knocks to a whole nother level to be on that show, like the little nuances of the game that you would pick up.
Sure.
Seeing when Mahomes went down with that ankle injury in the Super Bowl, and seeing what actually happened on the sideline, how all that played out versus how we viewed it in our eyes, was just unbelievable TV to me, because that's what I love, right? So I naturally, my first thought was, wow, this would be amazing to see Jalen on this, right? So then I hear, like, Jalen got offered it not 1 year, but 2 years in a row, and then decides to turn it down. Well, he already saw, first off, that Kelsey wanted to be on it so bad that he set up a podcast with his brother and Mahomes just to get a little bit of TV time on the last one, right? So not only could you have helped out your aging veteran center, but also if you would have looked at the Kirk Cousins side, who you want to say, oh, look at me, he's the least look at me guy in the league, right? He literally has a hidden trophy case in his home that he got built so nobody could actually see the flashiness. That's how little flashy that, for lack of a better term, that Kirk Cousins is, right? So you can't say it's a look at me type thing. But the other thing that it did was, I didn't know who Kevin O'Connell was. After seeing the rapport between Kirk Cousins and Kevin O'Connell, I love Kevin O'Connell now. I probably would have never known who the guy was. You don't think that Sirianni, after being frowned upon for Coach of the Year and looked over, deserved that? For the whole rest of the league, they'll say, oh, wow, that's Nick Sirianni. Look at the relationship he has with his quarterback as he leads them to the promised land. You don't think that would have positioned him this year to win Coach of the Year? So to me, that's selfish. Besides, all the other cameos of guys with personalities that's on your team that now they're going to get offers. If they're shown on there, a company likes them, boom, they get a deal. So now you're taking bags out of your teammates' pockets as well. And your fans that want to see you, and they're excited to root for you and to see behind the scenes, you're taking that from them as well. And you can't say that it's because you're focused on the game, because it will make you not win. Because Mahomes just proved that to be totally moot, as he just dominated the league, dominated you heads up. Well, not dominated you heads up, but got the win heads up, and has the championship trophy. That's my argument. I think that he should have done it for all those reasons. You still there?
So I have a 5-word retort. You are a nosy bitch.
Fair enough.
I mean, are you out of your mind? First of all, what bags? First of all, you're wrong. Nobody's getting deals. You live in this fantasy land. Trust me, all right? Nobody's getting deals because they were on the Jalen or the quarterback show on Netflix. No, it's not what it is. Kelsey did not do it so he can get a show. No, he did not. This has nothing to do with taking money out of teammates' pockets. That's ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. It doesn't work that way.
What about
Trust
the
me.
side of it? What about the coaching side? You don't think that Sirianni?
Sirianni doesn't give a rat's ass whether the nation sees him or not. He doesn't care about that. That's absurd. And by the way, it comes down to whether or not Jalen himself feels comfortable. That's what it comes down to.
What does he have to hide is the next thought that came into my mind. Like, what is he afraid of?
Oh, my God. What does he have to hide?
He's got cameras on him.
Oh, my God, Guru. I mean, that's twisted. I mean, Jesus. That's what's wrong with freaking society. Is that's your first thought? What does he have to hide? How about, I don't want you in my business?
He's got 4 months of people not being in his business. He makes tens of millions of dollars a year, though. That's the thing. It's like
he does that because that's what the market pays. Because he's a franchise quarterback. He doesn't owe you to be in front of the camera for some show. He only owes you to perform at quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what he owes you. Your sense of entitlement for an athlete is out of line.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers just took a $33 million pay cut. We're talking about O's. We're talking about being a good teammate. We're talking about being a good player.
Jalen Hurts is 24 years old.
My question is,
you bring up Mahomes. Mahomes is an established quarterback who obviously feels comfortable in front of a camera.
Fair enough. And he did say that comment, the Mahomes thing, about cutting his hair. And I did learn from that about the Head and Shoulders things. He didn't cut his hair specifically to get a Head and Shoulders contract for like a huge multi-million-dollar deal, which again is something that I would have never known, never would have thought of if I never saw the show. And again, I just wanted to see the angle.
Because you calling him selfish is what's. I love you, but you calling him selfish is completely out of line, and that just goes back to the culture today. That look at me. There's a video on me 24/7. Some people don't like that. You got to respect that. Not everybody's a whore, an attention whore. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's your stance on it. I disagree, but. I mean, I'm curious to hear what the listeners say. I'm curious what they call and say after.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna open up the phone lines and we're gonna hear what they have to say. I just don't even understand you. I mean, honestly, I love you, but I don't even understand this whole notion that you feel like he owes you to go do song and dance. Like,
I mean, maybe
that's insane.
Disappointed. Maybe I was just excited to see him, and I really was.
Well, I mean, that's one thing.
Like as a fan, it would have been amazing. Like that would have been nothing better to see my quarterback on that show.
Okay, well, listen. Obviously, if Jalen Hurts is on the show, we're all watching because that's what we would love to see it, right? Like obviously, but you can't force him to do something that makes him uncomfortable.
Well, it made him uncomfortable, but everybody else would have loved it. I mean, to me, that's a little bit of the definition of selfishness, isn't it?
No, not at all. No, not at all. No, just because just to appease you? You know what? My first reaction would be 2 middle fingers up your nose, mother father. Are you crazy? Oh my God! All right, brother. Listen,
love you, buddy.
I love you too. See you, Guru. Wow. Just let that marinate. All right. This is the culture we live in. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll come right back. We'll take your calls. I want to get into this discussion all day because I think it's an interesting one. And you heard the Guru. So we'll discuss it. He wants to know how you feel. I know how I feel. I mean, can't we just love the kid and just enjoy that he plays football without having to crawl inside his skin? You know what I'm saying? Dickie Dunn?
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to just love the kid because he plays football well.
Is it that hard?
I don't think so.
All right. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Cuz Radio. Dickie Dunn in for the tunes. Let's talk about the Bet Parks app, shall we? Football. It's upon us, Miss Rhonda. Football is here. And what better way than to get in a little football futures? All right, now we're talking Guru's language. The football future. Here it is. What do we see? Where do we see the birds? How many win? What's the win total? What's the apex? Is it a Super Bowl champion? Are they going to... one of the value plays is the Eagles to win the division at -130. o'clock hour brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. All right, 10:51 across the Delaware Valley. Now, just to be clear, because Tasty Cake Dom on the text board says, how can anybody be anti-Jalen? And I think that goes without saying. Even the guru, despite his idiocy, it's not about, he's not anti-Jalen. In fact, he might be obsessed with Jalen, right?
A little bit.
So it's like, to the point it's creepy that you're mad at him because he didn't do the show, because you want to know more about him.
Yeah, I'd probably change the security codes at my house.
Right?
You know?
A little creepy.
Yeah, a little much.
What was that? You see that show? What's it called? You?
No, I did not.
That's Guru, man. He's the you guy. He's the creep. All right.
Love some Jalen. A little much.
Right. So he's not anti-Jalen, but it goes back to a larger discussion as to what we want from our athletes, and also today's culture, which is about me. And listen, I'm not begrudging it because it's part of what it is, right? So I understand it, but remember, not everybody subscribes to that. Even though we think everybody under the age of 30 is just all about, living their life and every aspect of it on a camera, some people aren't like that. Some people want a little, distance, which I applaud and respect. T. Will gets us started. T. Will, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Yo, cuz.
What is it, D. Will? What is happening?
Yo, my man Guru, he's Stan. Remember Stan, Eminem song?
Yeah.
The crazy fan?
Yeah.
That's the Guru. He's Stan. My man, you are a nosy bleep and bleep. You know what I'm saying? You nosy. That's all it is. You nosy as all hell. You don't need to know nothing about Jalen Hurts. All you need to know is he's a quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's going to give you 110% every Sunday. And he wants to win. That's all we need to know about our athletes. We don't need to know where they eat. We don't need to know where they hang out. We don't need to know what they drink. We don't need to know their favorite food. What's that do for you? That don't do anything.
Listen, if Jalen wanted to do the show,
he'd do it.
Right? Well, my point is, if he wanted to do the show, all right, well, then maybe he watches, right? Like, I would watch if he did the show. But again, like, his reasoning is what really got me. And the fact that he called it a selfish decision is what, floored me. And I'm thinking, is that how we are now? Like, are we that obsessed with the cult of celebrity?
Yes, they are. And he's right there in the forefront. Calling somebody selfish because they didn't want to do something. So what, you call your family members selfish because they don't want to go to the park with you or something? Like, that's how it is today. Society's effed up, ain't it?
Yeah.
It really is. The generations, the gaps in the generations are amazing. It's amazing to see how they look at celebrities and they need to know so much about them, but they don't even know half the stuff that's going on in their own household.
Listen, I hear you. I mean, the cult of celebrity is insane, and it's taken over every aspect of our society, right? And that includes sports. They have some people, there's some athletes that embrace it, right? I mean, let's face it. I mean, you got Harden, who loves that stuff, right? Like, he'll prance like the Cookie Monster, and that's cool. That's what he did. That's what he likes. But Jalen is not like that. Jalen is just...
Leave these guys alone, man. Let them play football. That's what they get paid to do.
I couldn't have said it better.
Leave them alone. Jason Kelsey was down in Seattle on the beach. People taking pictures of him. And the first thing I said, let that man be. Let him enjoy his last couple of weeks before he goes to camp. You know, y'all don't have to be all in the know and be all next to people and look at me. I got pictures with this one and this and I saw him over here. They just like us. They put their pants on every morning like us. They take showers like us. Hopefully, they eat. They're humans. Leave them alone.
Well said. Well said, T. Will. Eloquent. Thank you, my brother. Excellent. Appreciate it. Pierre in the Northeast. Hello, Pierre.
Hey, Anthony.
What's up, Pierre?
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000,000%. Let me get my Eagles chant to
Sure.
E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles!
Hey, there he is, Pierre. All eagled up.
Yeah, I was also some comments too about he will worship too much. But that guy, whoever his name from, wherever he is.
Guru. Yeah.
He's selfish. Yeah, because let people be what they want to be. There's the other guy, Holmes, from, where Kansas wanted to take that kid. Let him. We want a full-time quarterback in Philadelphia Eagles. That's what we want. We don't want no other distractions.
Yeah, I mean, I would think it's an obvious, that's what shook me yesterday when I got his response. It's an obvious answer, which is, wow, that's awesome. He doesn't want more glorifying, right? More glorification. He just wants to focus on football. I love you, man.
1,000,000%.
Yes.
He wants to be a top football player. And sure enough, that Eagles, I'm got scratched out here. Thank you so much, Anthony.
Pierre, we love you, buddy.
Philadelphia Radio. I will call you again soon. Thank you.
Please do, Pierre. Thank you, buddy. Hutch, who's creepier, Guru or Uncle Frank?
Oh, man.
No, Uncle Frank's not creepy. He just wants to. He just wants to make Dickie Dunn go bad.
Yeah. Uncle Frank wants the producer series on Netflix. He wants to see the behind the scenes of Dickie Dunn. That's what he wants. He's like, why are they producing that? He wants a starring role in it too.
Yes.
He wants an entire episode about us going down to Puerto Rico together.
That's right. So Joanne says, here's the thing. The current call she was talking about, T. Will, is spot on. People think they can own athletes because they're fans and they believe they pay their salary, which is always a joke when people say that. And it's true, right? It's true. Tyree, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Good morning, Ty.
Yo, did he really say, oh, I didn't know Patrick Mahomes didn't cut his hair to get a Head & Shoulders commercial, but because of that show, I know that now. I don't care about that. I care about them winning games. What are you talking about? Oh, did I care about you? I don't, listen, I'm 41, so I'm in between the eras, but I miss my era because these kids, these dudes, first of all, what you just said, we pay their salaries. Your name ain't at the bottom of that check.
Right, you're not Jeffrey Lurie signing that check.
You trust me. If you was in the room, you'd have been arguing that they would have given me less or something. I don't care. This dude just went out and he fell short in the Super Bowl. I was just reading something about Sirianni saying how the Eagles felt disrespected. I can't remember exactly what it was, because I was in the middle of reading it and I heard you talking about that. So I stopped and I was like, all right, let me go see what they're talking about with this. Because everything Jalen Hurts, listen, first of all, I'm on the same boat with you. Me and you talked over the years. I wasn't that big on Jalen Hurts being the starting quarterback. And after that game, after the Tampa Bay game, I had questions. He shut me up all last year. So I don't care about him not taking contracts with TV shows or none of that. I want to see what he does in year 3. I don't want him to be I feel like any reality show I don't want them in our.
Yeah, and listen, and that show's a good show. Really, it's a good show, and it's not TMZ-ish like that. So I get it. They do it in a respectful way. They do it in a pro football way. But again, it goes back to where we stand as a society, which I think, Ty, you're spot on. And by the way, everything about Jalen, he's this dude that it's impossible. You love this dude. I swear to God.
When he said I had a purpose before you had opinions, I got chills. I was like, this dude is built to play in Philadelphia. Like, he has the right mindset, and you can't. Even when they were talking about trading for Deshaun Watson, him like, oh, I didn't hear any of that. Like, we know he hears it, but the fact that he responds like that is like, yo, that's the perfect answer here. Because everybody, we've seen the weak-minded, the Carson Wentz's, the Ben Simmons, the people that cannot make it in here, and we've seen that, and you go, oh, man, this dude, like, everything he said, he was lockstep. It was right. Like, I haven't heard him drop a bad soundbite since he's been our quarterback. Like, outside, I don't know. I just, listen, people do deserve privacy, too. I get it. They're on TV, they're multi-million-dollar athletes and all that, but they don't owe people. Like, I say that to people sometimes when you see famous people. I seen Jadakiss on the road while I was car hauling, and he was having, like, a real genuine moment with one of his friends, and I wanted to talk to him because he's one of my favorite rappers, but I was like, this dude's having a genuine moment. Let me go about my business and go on my way. Just to not bother him because he's a human being just like we are. They don't really owe us nothing. Like, and I try to explain this to people. They think I'm crazy. And I go, no, they don't. Like, you want these people to be like politicians to fans, and that's not what they do. Like, some of these people, they could have a human day just like we do, where something's going bad, somebody could be sick, something's not right in their life, and people just think that, oh, they got to drop all that and just be nice to me. Like, it doesn't always work like that. Like, it's not life on life terms, and that's, and sometimes you are right. You want to be hospitable to the fans, just like you said about AI. I've heard people have 1,000,001 stories about AI. I met AI a couple times and never had a bad experience with it, but that doesn't negate that there are people that have.
It all depends, like anybody else, right? Like, it depends what kind of mood you're in, right?
Yeah.
And, and it also pretends where you're at, and you know how it is. Like, if you're 23 years old and you got people constantly clawing at you, and you see some dude, you're like, yo, dude, give it a rest. You know what I mean? Like, you know how it is. Like,
like, people can have their kids with them. Like, you don't know what's going on and what mood that person is in at that moment. Now, if it is an event where they are supposed to be, like, I've had a bad experience with a couple ex-Eagles players at a Connor Barnes charity event. Not a whole lot, maybe one or two, but the majority of it was about 20 guys there. Everybody else was hospitable, took pictures, did the fan thing. But then there were other guys who didn't want to do it. I felt that was kind of weird, but I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother them because I know they're probably having a rough day. Somebody having.
Yeah, you got a really healthy way of looking at it as always, Ty. I always love your calls. Thanks, my brother. Great stuff, man.
Problem, man.
All right, babe. See you, pal. All right. You know what time it is? 11 a.m. means it's time for the vault. Dickie Dunn's vault.
When we began opening this vault nearly 2 hours ago, we had no real idea what we'd find inside. As it turns out, we haven't found very much.
The vault brought to you by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Dickie Dunn?
All right. Asphalt for me this week. I'll make it a good one for you. Today, we've got some birthdays, pop culture anniversary, and then some very old audio, which, kind of trademark here of what I do. But I want to start with on this day in history. Baseball Reference tell me that, 1989, Lenny Dykstra, you are Philadelphia Philly. Now, I could give you anything in the postseason, obviously 93. I wanted to go with what was a 20-inning game between the Phillies and Dodgers. And Lenny Dykstra comes up to bat.
Wow, are you serious?
Listen to the crowd and then listen to the big game-winning hit.
Rod Nichols comes in and gets the first batter he faces out. And the crowd, the people that are left here are just roaring, Lanny. Deep to left field, Eric Davis going back, still going back. He can't get it. It's another for Lenny Dykstra, and the Phillies are going to win this ball game.
Wow.
Eisenreich scores.
Easy.
Shallow. They had motioned him in. Davis wanted to play a little deeper. But with the tying run at third, the winning run at second base, the outfield came in about 4 or 5 steps closer than normal. So if there was a base hit, they had a chance to throw out the winning run. And Dykstra fooled them all by lofting a long fly down the left field line that hit just over the outstretched
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
20 innings.
That's a great clip, man.
Marathon.
Yeah, that was awesome. I remember the game.
All right, moving on. We got a birthday. Philadelphia sports here. Andre DuPont celebrated a birthday today.
Andre DuPont. How in the world do you know it's Andre DuPont's birthday? What's his nickname?
Oh, now you got me.
Oh, you don't know his nickname?
No.
So his nickname, I'm trying to think if you should know.
I should. This is definitely a gap in my heart right here.
Well, again, so long. I mean, listen, it's years and years.
Yeah, but this is a Stanley Cup champion.
I'm a toddler, right? Let alone you.
Right.
Yeah.
My dad's a toddler.
Moose DuPont.
Moose. Well, Moose came up big. Game 4, 1974, Stanley Cup. Let's listen to the goal.
3:42 left. A long shot went off Bill Flitt's back. Ends up behind the net. Into the corner. Picked up by the Bruins. And then the Flyers break it up. Terry Chris with 3:31 left. A pass for Clark. Clark closing in. That goes around two. Back to DuPont. DuPont going with it. Oh, he shoots goal! Tough on the eardrums here at the Spectrum. Andre DuPont, who scored that all-important goal to tie the game in the last minute in Game 2 in Boston, scores one right here to give the Flyers a 2-goal lead with 3:20 left. Great play by Bobby Clark, set it up. Lots of room for DuPont. He swung around Phil Esposito and then let it go. Stick side and in.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Old-time hockey. You went old-time hockey. Jeez. Dickie Doug.
Hard on the eardrums in the Spectrum.
Dude, that was unbelievable. That Spectrum, man.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, you can hear the
That's
roar.
pretty cool, man. The fault, man. You just
enjoy it.
You kill it.
It's a nice segment. All right, I got another birthday for you. And this is just more of a personal favorite. And it's really just the sound of his voice. Today's Coach O's birthday. Figure get some college football as you get a month of college
that's
football.
What you said I was looking forward to, right? Coach O.
Yeah.
Coach O.
Yeah, you're going to get some Coach O. This is my favorite interview of his. Comes after he's done at LSU. And he's talking about being fired. Have you heard this one before?
Nah.
Oh. He's talking about when things weren't going well and they were telling him it was time to make a change.
I got to tell you, we had a meeting. Said, Coach, things are not going well. No, Ray Charles can see that, brother.
So what's next?
Well, I got to tell you this, though. Say, Coach, you got $17.1 million on your contract. We're going to give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother?
Hey, play that again. Does he have one of the greatest accents in all of sports?
I got to tell you, we had a meeting. Said, Coach, things are not going well. No, Ray Charles can see that, brother.
So what's next?
Well, I got to tell you this, though. Say, Coach, you got $17.1 million on your contract. We're going to give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother?
What time you want me to leave and what door do you want me out of? Now, I appreciate the frankness of Coach O there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, easily.
He's like, oh, you got $17.1 million. He's like, all right, you're going to give me the money? I'm good.
Show me the door. Where is it?
Where do you want me out?
I can be back in 15 minutes.
I'm going to be out. I got my $17 million. I'll see you later.
Yeah, it is awesome. I mean, he's just hilarious. The Go Tigers. I almost did the compilation of Go Tigers, but I couldn't not do that interview because it's one of my favorite clips of all
it's
time.
classic.
Where a coach is just like, yeah, you know what? It's not going well. And you're going, oh, you owe me $17 million? Peace. I'll see you later. Go Tigers. All right. So on this day in 1959, one of the Phillies' rivals was granted their organization. The National League announced it was headed back to New York, and the Mets would become a franchise in baseball. Now, I've got for you a TV interview with one William Shea talking about the difficulties ahead and what they want to do to get themselves a stadium.
On the question of the stadium now, Mr. Shea, there's been some talk about the thought that when and if we build a stadium in Flushing Meadow, that it should be a big stadium that would accommodate international sports events, the Olympics, the Army-Navy football game, and that sort of thing. Well, I fully agree that it'd be wonderful to have a stadium like that. It'd be great to have the Olympics, and we need them in New York, and we're entitled to them. But at the present time, I'm working principally on an economical basis of building a stadium that will not interfere with the buildings of schools or hospitals. Our stadium will be an economical entity in itself that will support itself. The stadium that they're referring to cannot be as I see it. But we are building a stadium, and if the city should decide at a later time that they want to invest that money into a larger stadium, there will be an open end, and we'll be able to have it grow from our 52,000 baseball seats to perhaps 110,000.
Wow. William Shea. And they built that stadium, and it was a toilet.
Now, could you imagine a 110,000-seat stadium for the New York Mets?
No.
Him say, oh, yeah, if the city wants to hop in and make it 110,000 seats, give me a break.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Baseball, that shows you that actually the power of baseball back in the day.
Yeah.
Like they thought they could fill 110,000 person stadium with baseball. Think about that for a second.
Oh, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Now.
Like it's Happy Valley.
Yeah. Mets. Can you imagine the Mets? What's the Mets equivalent of whiteout? They do the blue out, Mr. Met out. Yeah. Everybody comes out,
Orange.
Mr. Met heads. Yeah.
No, the greatest is that, like, I remember covering them in the 90s, right? Mm-hmm. And there was, like 50 people there. So imagine there's like 50 people at 110,000 first stadium.
That'd be horrible. Be awesome, though.
Yeah, it would be.
All right. Now, today, 1940. Were you a cartoons kid?
Not really.
Not too much?
A little bit, I guess. I was your sports geek.
Yeah. I didn't know if maybe Saturday morning.
Wow, the Saturday morning cartoon. Nah, I mean, I wasn't really.
Yeah.
I was kind of a loser.
I don't think
I didn't go with the pop culture.
All right, that's fine. It's okay not to go with the pop culture. We can go from, even though you didn't enjoy necessarily the cartoon, on this day in 1940, Bugs Bunny. First time Bugs Bunny
really?
came to the air. Bugs Bunny at that point was not Bugs Bunny. I believe it was just white hairs, what they called the character. Here's Bugs Bunny.
What's up, Doc? There's a rabbit down there, and I'm trying to catch him. What do you mean, rabbit? Rabbits. You know, with big, long ears. Oh, like this? Yeah, and a little white fluffy tail. Like this? Yup. And he hops around and around. Oh, like this? You know, I believe this fella is a R-A-B-B-I-T. Pardon me, but you know, you look just like a rabbit. Come here. Listen, Doc. Now, don't spread this around. But, confidentially, I am a rabbit!
Wow.
There you go, Bugs Bunny.
Dude, like, how about you going deep into the vault, man?
Got to dig around.
1940?
First Bugs Bunny, 1940.
Oh, my God. What's your favorite cartoon? You go cartoon characters. The all-time top 10, Bugs Bunny has to make it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right? My dad introduced us all to the Looney Tunes world, so I would say that I was definitely bigger on Bugs Bunny than I think most of people my generation would be.
Yeah, and you have Space Jam.
Yeah, Space Jam also helps. I was a big SpongeBob kid growing up. So that was also one for me.
SpongeBob definitely is the top 10.
Yeah, easily a top 10. I think you might be able to get multiple characters out of that show into the top 10.
The Krabby?
Yeah, Mr. Krabs might be a top 10 in there.
Well,
Squidward.
We'll kick that around later on. We got Jeff McClain coming up. Sit tight on the culture of today and whether or not Jalen Hurts should have done that TV show, which is unbelievable to me that we're having this discussion, but it's very germane to where we stand. We'll come back. Lots to do. Jeff to talk about camp next. 610-632-0975. It's Cuz Radio. Dickie Dunn in for the Tunes. 97.5 The Fanatic. Let's talk about Dr. Andy. I tell you about Dr. Andy a lot. Dr. Andy Cohen. Now, I tell you about it because Dr. Andy's the man to go to if you have sleep issues. And a lot of us do. And a lot of us don't even want to recognize that we have sleep issues. You're up, you snore, you wake yourself up. Sleep apnea is a nasty thing, man. You're struggling for air in your passageways, and you wake up, right? And all of a sudden, you're not getting enough oxygen. You're not getting to that REM sleep, and it's very dangerous. It's terrible for your health. So do yourself a favor. See Dr. Andy. Now, Dr. Andy's board certified in treating sleep disorders. He's been lecturing other doctors on the procedures and methods that he's been using for over a decade. He's a Philly guy, passionate guy, and he really is brilliant when it comes to treating sleep disorders. Now, he goes at it from a different standpoint. He's a trained dentist. So he uses a combination of dental appliances and laser therapy to basically widen your passageways to get air through. All right? It's that simple. And you know what? It could be the right answer for you. Go to sleephealthypa.com. None of it hurts, all right? Dr. Andy's going to give you a path to restful sleep. It's possible. And you know how much better you're going to feel? Waking up, no CPAP, none of that stuff. You're going to wake up rested and feeling good. Sleephealthypa.com. Check out Dr. Andy. You're going to absolutely love him. And tell him I sent you.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies take 2 of 3 from the Orioles. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Department of Health. Ticks are in season and many carry diseases. They could be in fields and fairways, at picnics and parks, backyards, and baseball fields. Protect, check, remove. Learn more at health.pa.gov/ticks. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars. The Phillies won 6-4 last night over the Orioles. They take 2 of 3 from one of the best teams in the American League. Trey Turner sat the game. Mundo Sosa got the start at short, and he made his presence known with a go-ahead home run in the 7th inning. Jake Cave got the start in left, making a great catch up against the wall. A multi-hit game for Cave. Ranger Suarez on the mound. 6 innings pitched, struck out 6, allowed 4 earned. Gregory Soto got the save as the Phillies once again take it 2 of 3 from the O's. They get a day off today before a 3-game set in Pittsburgh this weekend. Eagles camp is open, and we're going to talk to Jeff McClain coming up next about everything Birds. Stay tuned. Keep it locked right here for the latest in news and information. I'm Ray Dunn for 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic. FanFest 2023 is Saturday, August 26th at Xfinity Live with FanDuel Sportsbook. Go to 975thefanatic.com for details and ticket rate info.
FanFest 2023 is brought to you by One Exit Mobile Escape Room. Whether you're planning a party, special occasion, or corporate event, we have the unforgettable on-site entertainment you need to wow your guests. Visit them at oneexitmobileescaperoom.com.
And 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
When you hear the words cancer research, what do you think of? Do you think of clinical trials, new treatment protocols? Well, I think of all the lives that are going to be saved, like mine will be. Let me tell you something. The next big cancer breakthrough's out there. That's why I'm proud to have teamed up with the American Association for Cancer Research since we launched the John Kincaid Show, and now they've launched the John Kincaid Scholarship Fund that supports the next generation of cancer research scientists. As a 2-time cancer survivor, soon to be a 3, I've seen what happens when research teams have the opportunity and the resources to explore their ideas. This will be my 3rd cancer journey, and I'm aware The treatments and protocols that I will benefit from originated with an idea, a theory, a scientist, a researcher, and I'm not taking it for granted. When you donate to the John Kincaid Scholarship Fund, you're going to help young minds follow in the footsteps to be able to help others enjoy the same dream that I have right now. Discover the next big cancer breakthrough by helping out with the AACR. AACR.org/fanatic, and I certainly appreciate it. AACR.org/fanatic, because cancer research saves lives.
You don't plan for a computer virus. You don't plan to lose files. You don't plan to knock your laptop off the counter. And you don't plan for your PC to crash or your screen to freeze. But Staples has a plan. A plan for unlimited virus protection. A plan for help when you need it 24/7. Staples Total Support Plans are your tech plans for the unplanned, starting as low as $199.99. And although you didn't plan for this, right now at Staples you can also get $250 off select computers. N729 in-store only. See associate for details.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready to go to work. It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring today.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
Hey, baseball fans, the BetParks app has you covered. Bet more than the score. Bet player performances, home runs, hits, strikeouts. Bet game combos like winning team and over-under on total runs. BetParks futures bet on MVP, Rookie of the Year, and more. All new users bet $10 and get $125 in sportsbook bonus if your first bet wins. BetParks.com has terms and conditions. New users and winning bets only. Sports bonus bet must be wagered once. See website for details. Must be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Summer savings are on at Barlow Buick GMC in Woodbury. They're fully stocked with popular models like the Sierra, Acadia, and Enclave. Plus, many vehicles are priced well below MSRP. At Barlow Buick GMC, they're honored to announce their status of Dealer of the Year for 2022. They say they couldn't have done it without their amazing customers and staff. Visit them today, Barlow Buick GMC in Woodbury, or online at barlowautogroup.com. Come see what sets them apart from the rest. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
All right, 11:24 across the Delaware Valley. Dickie Dunn, we have football, man. We actually have camp. And joining us, it's like we never left. My main man from the Inquirer, Inquirer.com, does such a great job covering the Birds. One, the only, Jeff McClain on the Comcast Business Hotline. Jeffrey?
Hey, what's up?
Man, dude. Nice to see the boys back. I have to admit, I got a little happy seeing it yesterday.
A lot of optimism about this team.
And there should be. Like, what was your takeaway from the Nick Howie news conference?
I mean, how little drama there is coming into this camp. I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah, even coming off Well, coming off 2017, so I'm trying to equate the two because they're coming off Super Bowl appearances. Of course, they won 5 years ago and didn't win this time. But, there were so many questions about, obviously, Carson Wentz and his knee injury and whether he'll be ready for the season and all the injuries that they had. And they made some off the field signings in terms of free agency that you questioned and whether they were the right moves. And so there was a lot of baggage heading into that training camp. And here we are 5 years later. And of course, again, I know they didn't win the Super Bowl, but they're about as healthy as I've ever seen them, at least the 15 years that I've covered the team. The quarterback has just signed a huge contract, coming off an MVP caliber year. Yeah, you got to feel great about Hurts. I mean, remember just a year ago, he was the number one question heading into camp. And then you look at the roster, and yeah, sure, there are some holes at certain spots, but not every team is going to have some holes, and they have a good collection of young and old, and budding talent, and guys at the top of their career arc. So, so it didn't seem like there was really a lot to press Howie and Nick on. Now, that being said, they went out there and had a pretty sloppy practice. And as we know, teams that get to the Super Bowl and lose it have a tough time getting back there, and all the other anecdotal evidence that we know about how tough it is to do this thing 1 year after the other. They got to go out there and still do it. There's a lot of stuff that has to be decided. There's some concerns about, the new defensive coordinator, what's going to happen at safety. Injuries can always pop up. They got pretty lucky last year. A lot of that was, I think, to their credit in terms of how they handle their sports science. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way I felt about it, that this was, this almost felt like, easy peasy for Howie and Nick up there. And they're off to about as great a start as you can hope, at least in terms of the roster and their health.
So, it is interesting, right? Because I heard you guys had this discussion about those Super Bowl losers and how, for whatever reason it is, it's so difficult to get back. And Nick talked about doing some studies and some analytics and as to try to figure out why that's the case. Any reasons? Like, I know you and I have talked about this before, and we talked about it actually this offseason. Anything kind of come to mind? I mean, when you look at some of the rosters, they're kind of aging out. This is not one. You look at other rosters that kind of went all in on free agency cap-wise. Again, this is not, they don't seem to have that issue.
I think a lot of it has been injuries, or some of it has been injuries. We were just talking with Bob Lang, who previously was at the 49ers, and what happened to them after they lost to the Chiefs in that Super Bowl was like you talk about the Eagles, the number of injuries that they had from 2018 to 2020. I mean, the 49ers were the only other team that had more over that span. So some of it's being unlucky, and some, with in terms of injuries, there's some freak things that you just can't control. Some of that has to do with, how you handle the health. And the Eagles have really kind of drastically done things differently in terms of fewer practices and the length of the practices. And if someone key gets hurt during camp, they're like, hey, we're not going to rush him back. We'll just wait until the start of the season. And I think that paid off in dividends last year. So there's that. But there has to be more than that, right? And it's tough to kind of gear up and do it again, I think, when you've gotten that close and you fall short, as the Eagles did against the Chiefs. I mean, they had that baby one at one point, it seemed.
Yeah.
And it was just snatched from them. So I think that may be praising you a little bit. But we saw in 2018, they won it, and it was tough for them to get back. And there's just so much that can happen. I think it's dependent upon many different factors. It's tough to kind of pinpoint one. But I just think it just goes back to that in the NFL, it's hard to have sustained success because of the salary cap and all the other reasons that the NFL has made it such a league of parity.
Yep. It's a league built on that. And when you have a league built on that, you're right. All those odds are against you. And that's what makes kind of the Belichick, Brady, and Andy to a big extent, because Andy, all his teams are always, buzzing around, here and then there.
Right, and it also goes back to the quarterback. Like the teams that have been able to have sustained success, the Patriots and the Chiefs are probably the two most recent ones. It goes back to having the two best quarterbacks of their eras. And the Eagles have a great one in Jalen Hurts, so that gives you a lot of confidence that they'll be back in the conversation this year. But there is still, Hurts. That's he had one great year. I mean, those guys are stacking up years. And Brady, it took a little while to kind of get to, where he needed to be. Mahomes, I think it came to him much quicker. And is Jalen in that conversation yet? No, he's not. And I don't want to take anything away from him, but he's got to go out there and prove it again. And, as we've seen in this league, for some quarterbacks, teams, after they've had a certain amount of success, the coordinators in this league, they'll find ways to make them have to try and beat you in another way. And the Eagles, as we know, with that zone read and the play, run option, it's a run pass, run option plays. They made the Eagles offense at times almost unstoppable. And, can they repeat that success? And can Hurts kind of up his game in terms of being a passer, because they're going to take away the run at some point? Those are questions that I think have yet to be answered.
Yeah, and speaking of Hurts and the pass game, you guys got into a real interesting conversation about protecting Jalen and limiting Jalen's touches as a runner. And Nick, and we're talking to Jeff McClain from the Inquirer.com, does such a great job covering the Birds. And Nick said, well, we always do that. And we always make sure that he's protecting himself. And I go, well, I get it. But the less you call RPRs and RPOs, the less chance that you will have getting Jalen hurt. And then, Chicago is real.
Yeah, that was my question to Nick. And I kind of asked him the different form of it in the spring. And he's like, it's not like we're trying to get him hurt. And I'm like, yeah, but you raise a good point. And that's kind of my point. And but there is a smart way to do it. And I think Jalen is, for the most part, pretty good at protecting himself. But as we saw, as you mentioned, in Chicago, he got clobbered on that play and he just didn't fall. And sometimes those instincts take over when you are as athletic and as talented as Jalen. And so I think it's always going to be a concern. And I think as we go along here, they're going to have to dial back on it. There's just no way about it. And, recently I was talking to Marty Morningweg about a podcast series, episode we did on Jalen. And, he said it used to be for these mobile quarterbacks, these dual threat quarterbacks, Jalen likes to call it triple threat. And I won't argue with him there because I think he's pretty darn smart. He would give them to the fourth year. He said it's changed now. I think it's the third year that they have to, after 3 years. It used to be after 4 years. Now he thinks it's after 3 years that they have to really start to then change to protect themselves. And that was very interesting to me. And that means that it's going to probably it has to happen for Jalen, pretty much now.
Yeah, and
I don't know, they're not going to go all the way. They're not. I mean, it's going to be small. It's going to be a progress.
Well, you saw it with Mahomes. I mean, he used to run a ton, and now he just runs smartly. And I look at now's to me the perfect time for Jalen to transition to more of a thrower. He's got a great offensive line, a veteran offensive line, and he's got weapons everywhere on the field.
And let's be honest here too. It wasn't all zone read type of plays where you're leaving a defender unblocked. I mean, that draw play was so successful for them at times, and they had great success with it to the point where he didn't really get hit much. Remember how? I mean, that play got him back in and helped them win in Indianapolis late in that game, and we saw it several times in the Super Bowl. But at a certain point, teams are going to know how to defend. They're going to. I bet you there's not a defensive coordinator in the NFL that's going to play the Eagles this year hasn't looked at, okay, what's our plan for stopping this play?
Right.
But that's just a straight, draw play. I mean, there's nothing really super fancy about it. And even with Mahomes, he got hurt. He got hurt twice in the postseason last year and in the Super Bowl. And So it's going to happen. There's a lot of stuff that happens at that position you just can't help. But you definitely increase the odds the more that quarterback is out of the pocket and running where the protection rules aren't there.
And that to me it's pretty simple. Like you got to at some point just limit it. I know it's a weapon and I don't want it to go away altogether because it's such a valuable weapon. But again, God forbid, there was a lot of time. If you remember, at one point, there was a fear that Jalen broke his collarbone. That was very real. They were like, uh-oh. They thought at one point it was a broken collarbone.
Yeah, that was the original diagnosis, I think, off the field or that evening, after the game, and then ended up being a shoulder sprain. I guess you could maybe call it a little bit of separation, but
right.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's a broken collarbone, there's no run. There's no playoff run.
Yeah. No. So that's all very fair to point out. So maybe a few less this year is probably what I think is going to happen. But it's definitely not something that's going to all of a sudden vanish from the offense.
All right. Let me ask you let's talk about Nick now, because Nick, 2 years, so much success. He's looked great. Now this presents a different challenge because in 2 years, they've already poached both his coordinators. Not that I think Jonathan Gannon's a big loss, but, but I think Steichen will. I think Steichen was pretty sharp. So how do you see, Nick now when when you lose both coordinators? I like both guys, but I like Desai and I like Brian Johnson. But how do you think that when it comes to Nick and this challenge of now indoctrinating two new coordinators?
Yeah, I think, on the offensive side, I don't think it's going to be much change. This is Nick's offense. While he doesn't call the plays in game, I mean, he is talking to the play caller throughout, and he's the one who basically decides ultimately what the script will be early on and what the offense is going to look like for each game. And so, and Brian's now been in it for a few years, and he's watched Shane do it. So I don't think it's going to be a huge jump. Yeah, there is kind of a skill involved with calling plays, and Brian, when the one time he did it, didn't have a huge amount of success, but that, who knows? There could have been so many variables that factored into that as well. Brian's a real smart guy, and has this relationship with Jalen. So I think on that side of the ball, not a huge amount of concern, although certainly something you have to mention. But on the defensive side, we're talking about a new guy. And while he, again, from the same school of Vic Fangio, and you're going to have multiple fronts, you're going to have a lot of split safety zone coverages, you're going to do a lot of the same stuff in terms of what Fangio likes. They're already kind of have to put in new terminology, so there's going to be a process there. Not a big one that happens all the time, but that's something that the players are going to have to adapt to. And you want to see some differences, I think. I think in terms of pressures, and that's what I hear about Sean. Sean definitely looks at that differently than Gannon does. And, I've heard good things about it. But again, he's, Desai's got 1 year of being a defensive coordinator under his belt. Gannon didn't have any when he got to Philadelphia. So you're talking about two young guys. I do like what I see and heard from Sean so far. But, you could see even yesterday at one point, they had trouble getting guys in or doing maybe some of the stuff that Nick wanted them to do in a certain play. And at one point, Nick is lambasting individual players for pre-snap penalties, and all of a sudden he's like, scream Sean, after he yelled at the defense for not being ready. And then he just yelled Sean. And then it was just, I think to me, just indicative that this is not going to be smooth sailing,
right?
Really going, which is fine. And that's what training camp is for. But, a lot more questions on that side of the ball in terms of the scheme and the coach than on the offensive side.
And the youth. I mean, I like what it looks like, but there is a lot of youth on that side of the ball. And I'm curious right off the bat, kind of how that youth comes into play. I mean, we talk about Jordan Davis, you got Jalen Carter. I mean, you got Nolan Smith. You got a lot of, and then the linebackers. Like, so you got a new fit. Yeah.
Youth up the middle, defensive tackle, right besides Fletch. You're talking about three young guys in Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Milton Williams. youth at linebacker, N'Kobe Dean. I know Nicholas Mora is there, but N'Kobe Dean's your Mike. And then youth in the secondary with at safety with Reed Blankenship right now is the starter, and they have an experience with Terrell Evans, so that's good. But you have a lot of young guys in the middle of that defense. We'll see how it plays off. A lot of talent, though, especially up front.
Yeah. Now, listen, talent-wise, they could just be they could be nasty. Like, I'm looking forward to the Georgia, bird dogs, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot of fun. Like, that could be a lot of fun. Do you expect Budda Baker to be an Eagle? I mean, I know he liked the Eagles' schedule, and there's been a lot of buzz, and that feels like a Howie move. Yeah, I still wouldn't rule out safety, a change there. A year ago this time with C.J. Gardner-Johnson on the roster. A year in early September was he on the roster? No, they made that trade, or maybe it was late August. They made that trade right before the start of the season, and he panned out. So Howie's always looking. Obviously, an injury may dictate what they do there. I think they want to see how Reed and Terrell look there. I wouldn't count Sidney Brown, the rookie, making a play for a starting spot. He was on the third team yesterday, but the Eagles really like him. I'm hearing good things about him. They think that he can compete for that spot. So maybe you don't have to make a move for Budda Baker, but certainly he could step in and upgrade. But you talk about money and fit and all those other things. I wouldn't rule that out. Wouldn't rule them out. Rule out them addressing maybe perhaps inside linebacker as well. We're talking to Jeff McClain, Inquirer.com. Back at it after his off season. He's back at it in earnest. Let me ask you a question, because we're having this discussion today. We talked about this show. I know you're familiar with it, Quarterback on Netflix. And Jalen said that he turned down the opportunity last year and then again this year to be on the show. And I was lauding him for, just kind of the focus. And that he's not worried about doing TV. He's worried about just kind of focus and doing his job, and that's kind of what he's about. So I was lauding him about it, and one of my listeners had issue and thought that because he wanted to see him on television, which I thought was kind of ridiculous. But there are people that believe in this today's culture about always being out in everybody's face. And I just thought it marked true to who Jalen is, which is all he really wants to do is play football. Yeah. I mean, he willingly told us that not only was it last year that he turned down, but this year too. So he wanted that out there. Now, the question was asked of him, but, he was willing to kind of offer that up. He's certainly got a brand, and that, like you mentioned, it is that of being kind of like the studious, diligent, kind of all football guy. And I think that's true. There are certain things that he's willing to do, media-wise, not as much. And I respect that. He'll do a couple things here and there, if he feels like it's something that's important to him. And I don't want to paint him as some sort of as some sort of martyr or savior here for not doing it, because. Well, for you, it's listen, I know your job. Well, it'd be a pain in my butt because I have to watch it all the time and figure out. No, I mean, like, it'd be nice to see, but at the same time, I'm sure for him, it's like this whole intrusion. It's not like it's easy either. I'm sure and Patrick Mahomes didn't need exposure for his brand to be what it is. So I think he was just willing to do it. I guess maybe Kirk Cousins probably had more motive for doing it just because he's this guy that people see him a certain way. So maybe he had a motive, alternative move for agreeing to do it. I think it'd be interesting to see. But I agree with you. I think Jalen probably, I think at one point he said, who knows, maybe down the road. I think maybe, I haven't earned it yet. Maybe that's kind of how he's looking at it. And I wouldn't disagree with that. Not that he hasn't earned it, that's how Jalen feels about things. Yeah, and the other thing too is not everybody is about me, and wants to go on TV and spin nickels on their forehead. Yeah, I don't think Jalen is interested in that. He'll drop, an ad, someone that he's, a face for. I remember we talked about the
the sugar-free lemonade last year.
Right. Yeah.
He'll do that on occasion. And you'll be like, what was that? What was that about? There was another thing he did. I forget what it was. But yeah, I think that. But I think he's also very aware of who he is and remaining true to himself. So yeah, I see nothing wrong with that as well.
And listen, and we're talking to Jeff McClain, and this is what you do. And I could tell you, like, I've done profiles. I sat with Donovan, and took Donovan to dinner a bunch of times and did these whole pieces, and it's just a completely different realm than it was, 15 years ago when I was I took Donovan to a place called Mezzaluna, a buddy of mine's restaurant. And it was great. It was a great night. And he was in the neighborhood and he's having to catch with kids. And it was kind of a cool thing, but it's hard because, that kind of access is different. Like you can't, I know how hard you try to get that kind of access.
Yeah, it depends upon the person. Like Jalen, so I did a story about, the Eagles' legacy of having black quarterbacks and how that's really changed. The NFL has changed, the face of the faces of the NFL at that position have changed, and the struggles certainly that black quarterbacks had gone through, or black players who weren't allowed to become quarterbacks had come through. And Jalen, okay, yeah, that's something that's important to me. I those guys are my kind of icon. To me, they're like my heroes, and I looked up to them, and I love being able to follow in their footsteps. I'll sit down and talk to you about 20 minutes about that, and we got a really good story out of it, and it was one of the few times. And then there are times that he'll allow me to come into his locker and talk to him if I have a question here and there. It's not like, for instance, Mike Vick was very approachable, and I did a bunch of stuff with him. Kevin Cobb, I did a bunch of features. I went down to Texas, and he knew I was coming. In fact, he met me at a restaurant. We had lunch together, and he gave me all the numbers of people I had to talk
who started
to.
that, don't you?
I
went fishing with him.
You went fishing with him. Yeah, did you go fly fishing with him?
Yeah, we went fishing, and his buddy had a ranch, right? And he had this lake ranch, and we went fishing on the lake, and it was
Yeah, I remember that story.
Yeah. So
Jalen's not gonna be like, hey Jeff, come over to the pad, or let's
hang out,
make crawfish together. And he's done stuff like that for like the Eagles website, or showed everyone his recipe. So he'll do stuff, but it's different. Obviously, team media has grown, and sports media outside of the team has changed drastically. So and it's I understand these guys are under the microscope. It's all changed. Social media has made it that every single move and every word that they say is under the microscope. And it's just like, it's tough for these guys to kind of sometimes be willing to reveal themselves, because you never know how it's going to be construed or misconstrued. And so I understand and respect a lot of them when it comes to, hey, I'm not willing to do this. I understand it completely. You want to build up that trust though. And there still are players that will allow you access. If once you build that relationship, there's a player that I won't name now, but allow me that kind of access this off season, and I'm working on a story now. And but that's what this job's about. And but it's all in the service of the fans and the readers, and hopefully bringing to them kind of something else they can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, and we know how big football and this town. Just look at it. We got a little pep in our step now. The fact that football started, because this is the first milepost that the season is around the corner, so it's a good thing. All right, well, I'm going to be bugging you, man. So I need my information, and don't forget, you got to follow Jeff on Twitter. Give everybody your Twitter again.
Jeff_McClain.
And readhiminquirer.com. Brother, great stuff. Keep it up, man. Thank you.
All right.
There he is. That's it. As we hang out, I can't get enough of just the Birds in general. That defense is going to be fascinating, dude. Fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
The young Georgia Bulldogs. It's going to be incredible. All right, we'll come back. 610-632-0975. Get back to the conversation. What do the athletes owe us? This whole idea about quarterback and doing the show and Jalen not doing the show. We had a pretty furious debate early this morning. Want to get back to it and get your thoughts. Coming up next, we open up the phone lines. Cuz Radio, Dickie Dunn in for the Tunis, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies take 2 of 3 from the Orioles. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and get you back on the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone. The Phillies won last night 6-4 over the Orioles. Mundo Sosa got the start at shortstop as Trey Turner sat, and Sosa made his presence known with a go-ahead home run in the 7th. Jake Cave got the start and left, making a great catch up against the wall. Had a multi-hit game last night. Ranger Suarez on the mound. 6 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, allowing 4 earned runs. Gregory Soto gets the save as the Phillies take 2 of 3 from one of the best teams in the American League. A day off today for the Phils and a 3-game set in Pittsburgh this weekend. Eagles camp is open. You just heard Jeff McClain.
words, if you think that you, and to your point, what you're saying is that Guru believes that he can buy Jalen Hurts' soul.
He believes that because he wants it, Jalen owes it to him.
Right.
Because he wants it. Not because it's better for football for Jalen to spend half his time talking to some camera lens, which of course it isn't. It's because Guru wants it. And he's the center of the universe right at that moment.
Well, that's the point. The point is the selfishness that everybody feels like they're the center of the universe.
Yeah, that's why I say it's an American condition in particular. It's something that we can all suffer from. We all have that.
I think it's world. I think it's every place. I think it's indigenous to everywhere, and it's a product of social media where everybody is starred. Everybody has their own, their own brand, and that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's where it's an American condition that's spread to the world because it is a human condition, right?
Yeah,
like we're all.
Listen. We talk about ego. Ego is the first thing that'll bring us down. It's one of the seven deadly sins.
So listen, the short version is a guy like Guru. He's indulging his ego, and the thing I love about Jalen is that he does not indulge his ego. He's not saying, "Oh man, put me on the camera, let me add this."
Right.
I can build my personal brand.
Exactly.
He's saying, I want to focus on this team and what needs to get done for this team, and that doesn't have anything to do with a bunch of yo-yos from Netflix sticking their snouts into my business half the day. Because and I know that the media will suck you dry. And that Netflix has no interest in whether or not Jalen succeeds this year. They just want to get.
In fairness, that's the business of storytelling. I don't think it's nefarious like you make it. But the nature of the thing is, hey, I want to tell a story. What's an interesting story? So we are now in experiential, journalism, which is, hey, let me put a camera inside, and we're going to take you inside. So the viewer gets to go for the ride, which I believe wholeheartedly in if you're into it. If you're not into it, no problem.
But the thing that's great, but you got to, as a member of the media, and you are too, that's our job is to prod people to get their stories out. But one of the things you learn in the media is that it's the source's right to say how they want to participate or whether they want to participate at all.
I agree.
There are definitely some quarterbacks that could do everything that they need to do to make their team succeed and also be on television. I really respect in Jalen that he makes really good decisions about how to use his time and his energy and his mental focus. And so I'm stoked for this season because I think this is going to be a great test of really the completeness of Jalen's resolve.
Well, could he, and I'll end this with you, and I'll end this with this question to you. Is he on the precipice of becoming, and I don't want to, lay this all on his feet because he does have to do it again and again, and we understand longevity, but is he on the precipice of becoming the most, the greatest quarterback in Eagles history?
He's definitely on that, he's definitely on that precipice. He can step right there because he's probably better than any quarterback I've seen at mixing in Philadelphia, at mixing his own skill set with the coach's mission and their strategies.
Yes.
He's really good about knowing what he's good at. He's really good at understanding what the coaching staff wants from him. And I think he's really, really good at finding the sweet spot where both what he can do and what they want come together. I think that's brilliant. Great call, Bill. I think you're right on. And I do think he's at the precipice of becoming the greatest Eagles quarterback. And I find it awesome. And it proves an adage, Dickie Dunn. It's the adage, and the longer I live, the more I believe in it, which is it's when you least expect it. All right? ... When you least expect it, ellipses, it comes to you. And it's funny, we all force things, right? We want, and it could be career, it could be whatever it is, your ambition, and we want to, but when it comes to you, it's always least expected. So let's take fandom, and I remember during the end of Andy, what brought Chip. I mean, Vic was fascinating his first year, and then all of a sudden it just goes downhill. And you see that Chip Kelly was a one-trick pony, and that Chip Kelly, peaked in his first year, and you knew that that was the apex of it. It wasn't going to get any better. And I remember going, oh, man, this is bad, right? This is going to be bad. And you felt it. And, we were in a bad spot with the Sixers because the Sixers was the beginning of the process. So along comes Wentz and Simmons. And so I took it as such they would be the messiahs, right? That Wentz, and let's look at Wentz. Wentz would be the messiah. He was a small college, big arm, reminiscent of Brett Favre, didn't have any fear, was looking to make plays. And when he comes on the scene, you want to talk about, seems like a great kid. I don't know, right? Everybody seemed to love him. I remember if you go back to his rookie year, how people just fawned all over him, right? They fawned all over him. If you go back to that, it seemed like everybody loved him, and it was all like, man, he's going to be great. He's got a big arm. He's athletic. He's everything that fits. He's tall with the big arm. He's got all that. And yet, he wasn't the guy. Wentz wasn't it. Wentz was the false messiah. He looked like the messiah. He had he fit the suit, and he was very good. Like early on, he was very good. His first 2 years were special. And then he gets hurt and everything else, and he goes sideways. And then, but he always had a degree of talent up until, he gets concussed constantly and he can't stop playing hero ball and all that stuff. But he looked like the messiah. And now here's Jalen, right, who lost his job at Alabama. It was a great story when he comes in for Tua and wins, and it was pretty awesome. But then he leaves and goes to Oklahoma, and they draft him. You go, well, we don't need a quarterback, right? We got a quarterback. You're only going to make the current quarterback messed up by drafting Jalen. So you go second round pick. There's a million positions that you could have had. So Jalen comes in not as the savior, not as the messiah, far from it. Smaller, questionable arm. And here, he turns out to be the guy. He turns out to be the messiah. And I'm talking about the quarterback, as a quarterback reference. He turns out to be the franchise quarterback. And it's uncanny how it came out. It came from out of the blue when we all thought that Wentz was the guy, and rightly so. Isn't it wild how that transpired? Dickie?
Yep.
What do you mean, yep?
Yeah, how it transpired. I thought you were asking rhetorical to deliver your point here.
No, I was bringing you into the conversation.
Oh, here I am. How are you? Good afternoon.
You gave me a yep.
Do I know how it transpired? Yeah, I watched it happen.
But the whole idea, no, it's bigger. It's the idea that we expected Wentz to be the savior, and nobody saw Jalen, and it turned out to be Jalen. And that goes back to the point where you never see it coming. When you think it's going to happen a certain way, it doesn't go that way. It goes the other way, which I find interesting.
I mean, it's a fascinating story, and the underlying development of all of this, where I remember that when that pick was made, it was like, you have so much else you could be doing with this to help out your team. This thing feels like it's trending in the wrong direction, and we're doing this right now. And sure enough, where you thought, okay, they took Hurts. I guess would live with it. Like, it's not the pick I would have made in that moment. Now, I look like an idiot now, but
even Howie. I mean, Howie will tell you that he was blessed because he thought that Jalen was going to be the guy that was the control cost of his backup quarterback, which was an interesting kind of move.
Yeah.
And it turns out he's the Messiah. We think. I'm not putting it in that huge way. I'm just talking about as the franchise quarterback.
Well, yeah. I mean, now he's got the contract to match. He's got the label of it to match. I mean, he is.
Pretty wild. It's just interesting, I think, how it all plays out. All right, we got open lines. 610-632-0975. Let's get back to this discussion. The guru says it was Jalen was being selfish. I think I can't believe that there's anybody else out there who would agree with that. I mean, there's always somebody, but we haven't talked to him. So we'll discuss that and kind of what the athlete what do you want from him? Like, what do you want to see? What do you want from Jalen in this respect? So we'll discuss that. Also, you mentioned the cartoons. So if you go with the top 10 legendary cartoons, characters, who are they? So right off the bat, we got Bugs and SpongeBob. All right?
I like that too.
610-632-0975. You're looking at me like, yes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, how did it transpire? Yep, that's about how it transpired. You got it. You nailed it there, Anthony. I see the Primo over here. I think that's what it is. I can smell the Primo. My mind's wandering to the
go
food.
eat your Primo. Go eat your lunch. All right. Thanks to our friend Pat Ardmore Primos for dropping off and feeding the crew today. 610-632-0975. Cuz Radio right here. Dickie Dunn and for the Tunis 97. All right, 12:19 across the Delaware Valley. Cuz Radio. Dickie Dunn. You get your Primo fix?
Oh, yeah. I'm staring at it right now. So good.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I love it, man.
Knock yourself out there,
Yeah,
buddy.
no, don't worry. I'm having a good time in here with the Primo. It's good.
Party.
It's a good.
William H. Macy. Did you see?
I saw. Yeah.
The young William H. Macy is you, Dickie Dunn.
Yeah, the young one works for me.
That's
I'm
you.
I'm okay with looking like the young one.
That's you.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Hey, Ann. You guys are forgetting a cartoon,
What?
You forgot Tom and Jerry.
You're right. You are.
Classic.
Now, Dickie Dunn, when did this happen?
What happened? She just jumped in there?
Yes.
Yeah, well, quick jump here. Not just flying in there for you.
Are you kidding me? You're all right.
I jumped on in. I had something to say.
I respect that. Introduce yourself to the audience.
All right, so I'm Silvana. I just started working here. I'm done my shadowing period. So if you call in, you'll most likely hear me answering the phones.
Yeah, Silvana is the one answering the phones.
Yeah.
And she's got a great disposition. And you're right about Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
That's a classic. All right. Now tell them where you're from and give them a little background on you.
All right, so I'm from Audubon, New Jersey, so at South Jersey. Graduated Temple this past May.
Dickie Dunn.
Yep.
Another TU.
Yeah,
Dickie
we're doing
Dunn.
good work.
He was my sports director at WHIP at Temple.
It's true.
That's how we met.
Wait a second. You worked for Dickie Dunn?
I did.
Dickie Dunn was the boss?
Yep.
William H. Macy?
He was a great boss, too.
Was he?
Yeah.
I
She
can
was
see
paid
that.
to say that.
I can see that.
Alumni Association paid her for that.
That's awesome. I like that. I love your assertiveness that you came in here and you said right away, I got something to say. It's Tom and Jerry.
Yep.
So good job.
Thank you so much.
I like it. I like it. So you'll have the pleasure of talking to Sil when you, which they call you Sil?
Yeah, some people call me Sil, mainly. Silvana. Yeah.
What do you prefer? Sorry, because I have a habit of nicknaming people.
Really?
Sil is good. Most people call me Sil. It's
You look
funny.
like a Sil.
Yeah.
Like you got that great disposition. That's a Sil disposition.
Yeah, I used to not like having that foreign name, no one ever knowing how to pronounce it, but I really grew into liking it. So I do
It's
like
cool.
hearing
First of all,
people
it's
come up
an
with nicknames.
exotic name, Silvana. It's a nice. Is that part of it? Where's your people from?
Italy. So my grandmom was Sylvia, and my mom claimed that when she was pregnant with me, she had a dream that she named me Silvana.
Oh wow, really? Yeah. Okay, I believe in in dreams like that. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, Sil. Dickie Dunn, Tunis, and the Bro are coming up next. And look at that. I gave all four of you guys nicknames.
There you go.
It's perfect.
I like it.
All right. Thanks, Sil. You're all right. Dickie Dunn, did you see the picture? So, walking aside, William H. Macy is you. When he was young, Miss Rhonda showed the picture. And it's uncanny how it's you.
It legitimately looks like the younger like my dad has the portraits. When they did all the portraits in different years. He's got one of those, and it looks like a young version of him, which I was told is what I look like. So, yeah, I feel like it checks out. I feel like I might be young William H. Macy.
Here you go.
We're going to see how the aging goes, how the difference in aging goes there. But
did you know? Have you seen him?
Yeah, I had seen him before, but I had seen the older version of him. So when I was first thinking that, I was like, oh man, I know I've been working a couple extra hours. I might have little bags under the eyes, but I think I look that tired. Of course, now I see the younger one. I'm like, I could take that. Fine with that. Works for me.
All right, so you got Bugs Bunny, SpongeBob, Tom and Jerry's good.
Yeah, but who gets
Silvana.
ranked higher between Tom and Jerry? Who's carrying the team there?
What, say again?
Well, because we're doing characters, right?
Well, they're one and the same.
They're one and the same?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Think of the top, because it's the top 10 all time. The GOAT cartoon characters. Let's go to Carl in Bucks County. My man, Carl. How you been, buddy?
I will tell you, I just spoke to Silvana. She's got a good laugh and a sense of humor, and quote unquote, she gets it.
She does. Silvana gets it. Yeah, I agree.
She's terrific. My sons are in their 40s, and their favorite cartoon was Ren and Stimpy, and they got me into it. I don't know if it's an all-time classic, but that just turned my head how different a cartoon could be from Bugs Bunny.
There you go. You read a little Ren and Stimpy action. Yeah. Yeah.
So my point, hearing you talk earlier, and praising our quarterback, which is well deserved, was Howie Roseman that prescient that he saw this? Because I can't believe that anybody saw this level of potential in this guy coming out of school. He bounced from college to college. Nobody was writing any, headlines about him. And how can you predict him being that great in the future? And what I thought at the time, waste a second-round pick. You could have picked this kid up for a fourth.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's my question.
It's funny, and I love the word prescient because it's a great word and very apt for Howie. So I tell you, I've had that conversation with Howie. The reason why he took Jalen, first of all, they had intel that they thought somebody was going to take him in the third round. So they wanted to take him before he went in the third round. And what his belief was that he can control, he believed that Wentz was injury prone and that Wentz, his style of play would lend himself to injury. So he wanted somebody that he could also control the cost of the backup quarterback. So he wanted someone that could, fill the need, grow, and grow into the backup. And then if Wentz got hurt, he could be a guy he can rely on for more than just a game or two. And so that's why he went so high after Hurts.
It's just so funny. The two of them were such polar opposites. A giant guy to sort of a regular-sized guy.
But both mobile. I mean,
a questionable arm. Yeah.
But both athletic. I think Howie thought he could control his cost and backup, and that Jalen was at worst a great backup, and at best could grow into, being a guy that, God forbid, if in that case, if Wentz got hurt long term, that he could step in and play 8 games and win.
Well, listen, it's always great talking to you. And the last thing I'll leave you with, it's amazing. The opening of training camp, to me, makes the atmosphere 15 degrees cooler. Because all I'm thinking I'm just thinking of sitting outside on a cold day at the stadium. I'm looking forward to football. It makes you feel good.
It does, Carl. Later. You're the best, buddy. See you, pal. It is. It does make you feel that way. Vince says Scooby-Doo is the top one. He's definitely top 10.
Yeah, I would say so. Probably closer to my back end of the list in the top, but definitely in the top 10.
He said he's definitely top 10.
Yeah, he's top 10. You think he's a superhero?
Do I think he's a superhero?
Yes.
Scooby-Doo?
Yes.
No.
Nick Castellanos, All-Star game, is saying yes, trying to plead the case for him. Dog talks. Said that's and
I missed this. So
yes.
Nick Castellanos. So Nick said what? That Scooby-Doo's a superhero?
Correct. I think it's just while you were in Italy, he went on this during the All-Star game.
I didn't know this. So
yes.
This was a whole debate?
It was, I kind of, I don't know if it was a debate.
The bro had to be in on this one.
We had, I think it was more of an off-the-air conversation, because I think they both were like, superhero. I kind of think a little bit of a system hero, but, I don't think he gets much done without the crew. I think he needs the ensemble. It's all right to be inside of a good team, but super, I say no.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Good for Castellanos. If that's the way he feels, Scooby-Doo's his guy, his hero. I say,
Yeah, listen, I agree.
Yeah, I think you need the whole ensemble, which is also why he falls, he's the lead man, but he falls closer to the end of my top 10. He's there, but I could find better.
Let's go to Colin in Morristown. Colin, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Yo, Kyle. What is it, Colin? Once, twice. Colin's out. Call us back. Real quick on this. What do you want? If I said to you, because I'm fascinated by the discussion we had earlier with the guru. In fact, I might have to replay it for people. I'm curious as to what you want from your star athlete. Because all I really want is win and, be a decent guy. And that's really it. Go play, go be great, and be decent. Be like a decent dude. And that's all I really want from you. When the guru's talking about Jalen Hurts, you got to know everything about him, his deepest, darkest thoughts. I mean, what do you want from him?
I think this falls under your umbrella of decent dude, but I think the win, the work hard, and the umbrella of your decent dude is kind of the respect of, the fans, respect to the city. I don't need you causing a stir every time something goes bad. And I think that would be what I want out of my athletes. I just want, obviously want you to win. We love the hardworking athlete, and we love the athlete that I don't need you to pander to me. I don't need you to go all the way at the end. If you want to do it, I'm not going to mind. I don't mind it. But I don't need you to pander. I just need, a little bit of the respect of the city, respect of the fan base. And you'll be good at my book. I don't need all the extra stuff from you. If I get to know more about you, that's great. But you don't know anything about me.
Well, he doesn't even know you exist.
Right. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So
you don't know that Dickie Don exists. He doesn't know that there's a young William H. Macy.
No, he has no idea.
Out there. He doesn't know about you.
Which is why I don't need to, see the inside of his kitchen while he's sitting down for an interview. I for a TV show. I don't need that be that personal because it's a very much a one-sided thing. Oh, I need all this personal detail of him. He's gonna know I'm a person. So I think that, to me, that's kind of where I set the boundary of that one. Of if I get to know something about you, that's cool. If not, that's kind of what this deal is. I don't need to be kind of everywhere of what you are. I love reading stories about you, love hearing stories about you. But if you want to keep that in private, it's cool with me.
So, Sidale on Instagram goes Popeye.
It's interesting.
I think Popeye's top 10, though. Is he?
I think that there's a lack of full grasp for me on Popeye. I think that's probably a top 10 that my generation might leave off out of ignorance and not so much out of deserved credit. You know what I'm saying here? I think Popeye is probably top 10 for someone, but not maybe my age group.
Well, I'm just talking all time.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why when I think Popeye, it didn't jump to my top 10. I'm saying you're probably right about him being top 10, but it didn't jump to mine for me because of age there.
Okay. How about Ninja Turtles? Because Hutch goes Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I'd say so. Throw him in there. Do we have a special lead one here? Because
we got a lot of people are coming at it. I think the Ninja Turtles are they're all of them.
Right. If we start breaking it, I'll be honest with you. I think Jerry's a top 10 from Tom and Jerry. Tom, I know you can't have Jerry.
You can't have Jerry without Tom.
Yeah.
Nah, Jerry's not. Nah, come on, dude.
I'm just saying.
You're wrong, dude. Nah, you're out.
All right.
You're out on that.
Listen. Personal list here.
You know what the best is? My buddy Danny says, the guru is asking more out of Jalen than I ask out of my wife. Are they nuts? He's right.
You're
a guru. You got to do a TV show so I can see everything about you, and I can just wear your skin. He's right.
He's
You
right.
doesn't ask your wife for that. You kidding me? Nick, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Nicky.
What's going on, fellas?
What are you doing, Nick?
Well, I guess good afternoon for y'all. Good morning for me.
Yeah. How hot is it in Fort Worth, Texas?
Dude, it's supposed to be 106 today.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's going to be like 15 days straight, over 100.
Oh, my God. It's got to be brutal.
I know. I was watching the game last night, and I was like, man, I would love to be there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was nice out last night. A little hot today, but we're only getting it for a few days. You got it,
You got rain last week.
Yeah, it was actually nice. Like, and even Sunday, I mean, it'll be down to 85 and go down to 64 at night. So we're dealing with some heat today, tomorrow, and Saturday.
I'd take it.
I know you would.
All right, what about South Park?
Yes.
Got to be, right?
Top 10.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an
young, old, adults, kids, everybody.
Yeah. Now you got to go with the character and not the whole show.
Okay, what about Beavis and Butthead?
Oh, that's a good one, dude. That's a good one. I guess I got a lot of people are going Homer Simpson, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he's got to make it too. Oh, it's gonna be tough narrowing this down. Actually, this could be one of these. This could be a field that we're creating right here.
You do the top 100.
A field of 64. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Fellas.
All right, buddy.
Enjoy the day.
Thank
Love
you. You
listening.
too. Love you, buddy. Be careful. Poor Nick. I know he's down there in Fort Worth. Colin is back. Colin. Hello.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, Kyle.
First off, I was going to say Homer Simpson. That was probably my answer, but my backup here probably Charlie Brown.
Oh yeah. He's got to be a top. He might be a 1 seed, Charlie Brown, right?
Oh yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Top five.
Actually, we might have to make a field out of this thing.
A little March Madness action.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot. People feel passionate about this. I think we're going to do this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got 64 cards.
Easy. Yeah. I'm with you.
So listen, I wanted to circle back on something. You guys were talking about the Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts,
yes,
fiasco earlier. So personally, you called Jalen a prophet or prodigy, one of those two?
No, I just called him I just said I called him the Messiah. Like he wasn't a false Messiah. He was a Messiah. The franchise quarterback. I'm using that word as,
No, that's valid. Yeah. No, I agree with you. The only thing I'll say to that is I think Wentz, he looked like the Messiah in that 2017 season until he got hurt, and to his credit, I mean, he did as much as Jalen did. Like he, in a way, got him to a Super Bowl, didn't win it. He didn't win it. So I don't know if you can call Jalen a Messiah until he's won a Super Bowl. I don't know if that's fair or not, but
well, I guess when I say Messiah, I mean the truth. Like he's the truth of a franchise quarterback. Yeah. Ultimately, Wentz was not the truth, right? Wentz's flaws. He had all the abilities, and he looked like the truth, right? He tall, 6'5", big arm, mobile, but he had those flaws.
That's true.
That said he was the false Messiah.
Yeah, too big for his own good.
Yeah. Right on, brother. Right on.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, good stuff, Kyle. See you, buddy. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna do a field. We got too many people checking in on this thing. We got to go field. Reef, my man Reef goes Optimus Prime from the Transformers.
Wow. Yeah, you got to go more than the top 10 at this point.
Well, that's why we're going to go to field.
That's what I'm saying. You're getting good stuff here.
I mean, when you think about it,
And like, there's a number of characters you can take from multiple shows, like multiple from one. Because I'm looking, we talked SpongeBob earlier. I got multiple characters in that one I would go to bat for.
Okay. All right. So what are you going to put? Krabby?
I like Mr. Krabs more. I thought about it. Patrick moves along that show a lot.
Okay. You can only have one.
Only have one?
Other than SpongeBob. Yeah.
I'm going Patrick then.
Okay.
Yeah. I enjoy
Mr. Crab, though.
The idiocy. Yeah, I know. I mean, again, part of a good show.
I'll put him out as a possibility.
Okay.
Because actually, I think he would be pretty good. Hutch goes Inspector Gadget.
Another good one.
That's actually a strong one right there. So, all right. Dude, Fred Flintstone's a GOAT.
Fred Flintstone is a GOAT.
He's the man. He's a 1 seed.
Yes. He's a 1 seed, and the Charlie Brown one right there, that's top three.
Charlie Brown.
That's top
1
3.
seed. Fred Flintstone, 1 seed.
Yep.
Bugs Bunny. Is he a 1 seed?
I mean, you lead the Looney Tunes. You're kind of the lead man here. You end up in a movie with Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you got to be a 1 seed at that point.
I mean, that's GOAT. You're hanging with the GOAT. Goats hang with goats.
So there's your 3 1 seeds. One more to give out. Now we talk SpongeBob, but we also have left out the Disney World here. And are you going to have Mickey Mouse not be a 1 seed?
Yeah, Mickey Mouse has to be a 1 seed.
So that drops SpongeBob to our 2 line.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse definitely a 1 seed. I forgot about that. Martin says Foghorn Leghorn, who sounds like Charlie Manuel. He's the best, my boy. Skip. I go Foghorn. Yeah, he's a legendary character.
That he is. He makes the field.
Yep. No, I agree with that. We'll get more of this and all your calls. To see you, everybody. Heavy, Fat Cat, Andrew, John, Elijah. You guys are all coming up next as we get to hang out. Camp is upon us, the end of July. Feeling good, buddy. Feeling strong. Right here, 97.5 The Fanatic. Got my man Hayden in. He goes to Syracuse, Hayden.
Great place. Good dude, too.
You was the Temple man.
Yeah, proud Temple man. I think anyone that knows me knows
Syracuse is our enemy. That's VG's a Syracuse guy. I have buddy VG. He's a big Syracuse guy. He's a Boeheim lover.
Well, good luck in the new era. Have fun.
Hate the Qs, except for Pearl Washington. The only Qs man I liked.
Number 5 will always love you.
I forgot. All right, let's get to all of our people on the line. Let's go to the Fat Cat. You're on 97.5.
Guys, what's going on, brother? How you been?
What is it, Fat Cat?
Ain't nothing going on but the rent. You got Dickie Dunn holding it down, king of the vault.
He is king of the vault. Kid, listen, the kid knows the vault, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, in honor of him, we may have to come up with the best bank jobs ever, the best bank robbers ever, because I think he stole the vault.
Tunis is good too. But
Tunis is my man. He invented the vault. But
I like both of them.
Tunis invented the vault. But Dickie Dunn's a vault. He's a bank robber. He stole the vault.
He's a thief, huh?
Yeah. He's like James Caan.
Right. But look, I like to say, first of all, I listened to that interview with you and Maury. That was a great interview. I mean, all the questions that I, had in my mind, you asked every question. You had a lot of pink panties and adjectives. I get you on that one.
I appreciate that. The fact that you would say that and harken back to my editor in New York, I appreciate that, my brother.
Yes,
I love that. You're the best.
Yes. Also, man, I didn't even know. Well, I wanna say a thing about Jalen, but I didn't even know you were legendary, bro. I didn't know you were at the Tyson fight when Tupac got beat.
I was there, man. I was at the MGM Grand, the Grand Garden Arena. The night shots rang out.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That light.
I was a big. I love Tupac, man. Like that whole. Yeah. And back then, I was always traveling, right? So I was in LA a lot, and I used to always go East Coast. I was the heyday East Coast, West Coast, right?
Uh-huh.
And I would wear my East Coast, right? My. I when it comes, I was rough. You know what I mean?
Right. That's when that East Coast, West Coast rivalry was serious back then.
I know. Nah, man, you're right on, brother.
Yeah.
Nah, that was no joke, man.
Yeah, man. But look, that guru, he's damn cuckoo. You know what I mean? I love Jalen. There you go. Perfect drop. Jalen is focused, out of this world, hard worker. I loved him when he was on Bama, and then Nick benched him, and I mean that would have broke a lot of players.
Yes,
and I mean he just stood tall, transferred. You know what I mean? Had a great seasons at Oklahoma, and then came into his own on the Eagles. I love when Howie drafted Jalen.
He's got a great disposition, and you're spot on about that, Fat Cat. That it didn't break him,
right?
And I shouldn't be surprised at how he remade himself as a thrower.
Yes, 100%, man. But I mean, Wait a minute. I wanted to add something else. God. Oh, one more thing, man. Are you writing a book?
Am I? Yeah, I'm doing. I got like 3 different projects: a movie, TV, and a book project that I'm working on.
Oh, get out of here! But man, that day you were cracking me up when you were telling us about your Allen Iverson story. You should have a show all on Allen Iverson.
Well, I want to do a story. Seriously, I thought, nowadays people have proven that they like sports stories, right? And you can create, actual, television shows like series. Yeah. And I think an Iverson limited series would be unbelievable.
Awesome.
It would be unbelievable. It would be such a great show, right? And he was, and by the way, Dwayne Wade said it right. Like, he was so unique, and he was a pioneer in his own right. And just what he did on the floor, off the floor, I just found him so interesting. And the stories are like voluminous. Like, dude, like Pat Croce will tell you a million of them. They're hysterical.
Right. Man, I was cracking up. You were saying
with the crabs?
Yes, the crabs.
Crabs are the best. My man's got a Bentley, and they're just picking the crabs and throwing it. Imagine how that stunk, right? 3 days of crab shells in the car.
Smelling like a mother father.
Fat cat, you're the man, fat cat.
Yes, man. Thank you, brother.
See you, brother. Love you too, man. His stories, he was wild. Just wild. Like, I just think he would be a great show.
Recreating the crabs TV?
Well, again, this whole story is a great story. From the time he's young and through the year at Georgetown, he drove John Thompson insane. John Thompson's like, dude, go to the draft. Just go to the draft, man. But it was, then him and Pat was tasked with the he had to keep Allen like, in the straight and narrow type of thing. And Larry Brown be like, oh, your boy did this, your boy did that, blah, 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 blah. Like, it was a wild, like that whole season was an awesome season, but it was crazy, like behind the scenes. It's a great story. And his whole life's a great story.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just there's some dark stuff.
Yeah.
In his life. And he was a showman, man. He was a great showman. He has, it's funny. Somebody said yesterday, we were talking about superstars and how we love our stars. We do love a star with warts. We love that because it shows, it humanizes them, right? So we love the star with the warts. Let's go to Andrew. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Andrew.
Good evening, gentlemen, or good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
What's up, Andrew? What's happening, buddy?
I'm excited for FanFest next month. I cannot wait. It's going to be a hell of a party, and I am so excited to come and visit you guys.
Fantastic! I'm sure you have tickets, right?
Oh, absolutely. I got tickets the day you guys opened up. So
nice.
But Eagles, I'm excited for camp. I know the offense is going to do really well, but my sights are set on defense on how well they're going to do this year. Clearly, they're not going to get the 70 sacks this year, I don't believe, but they're going to get up there. They're going to get their sacks, and they're probably going to get, I'd say, 50 to 55 sacks this year. So I'm excited to see what the defense is going to look like this year with all the subtractions and additions we've made in defense. Now,
real quick, just to follow that up, it is interesting because, like, when I was talking to Jeff, and he was right, they're very young up the middle, right? They're young at tackle. They're young linebackers. A lot of young talent, like great talent. Who knows? Jordan Davis, if he can develop and collapse the pocket as an interior pass rusher, Jalen Carter can be freakish. Wow, they could be nasty. Like, they could be even better than last year if those kids step up.
Absolutely. And if everybody stays healthy as well.
Yeah, sure.
So, in terms of cartoon heroes, I am a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles guy. I've always loved them because I also love eating pizzas. So they got the best of both worlds there. They got the best weapons. Michelangelo is probably my favorite because he likes to party all the time and have fun. And
all right. So here's the deal. I'll give you the choice for the field. You can have the Ninja Turtles as a whole, or you can have Michelangelo.
Oh, Ninja Turtles as a whole, because all of them, as a team, as you guys know at 97.5 The Fanatic, are so amazing that you guys are a team. Ninja Turtles are a team. They do really well. You guys do really well. You're successful. And you guys actually should choose which one of you guys there are one of the Turtles. Who's the genius? Who's the partier? Who's the fun person? Who's the serious one? And who's the one who invents things? So you guys should do that as well. But
I think that's for you to do, Andrew.
I'm surprised no one has mentioned Papa Smurf.
Oh, the Smurfs. Wow, I forgot all about the Smurfs. Papa Smurf. All right, here you go. I'll put him down there in the field. You got it. That works, Andrew.
I mean, honestly, because with the Turtles, they also had the really cutest reporter out there, too, April O'Neil. I mean, she was definitely cute.
Oh, you dug her? My man. Oh, you like the hot cartoon character.
Well, I didn't say hot cartoon character. I had a thing for when I was younger, Jem, if you guys remember that. Who was the singer who turned into a regular girl by just talking.
There you go. My man. I like it, Andrew. Good stuff. Day, you too, buddy. You too. Who's your cartoon crush?
That's a tough one. You got one for me, Anthony?
Let's see. I'll give you when Pebbles grew up. There was an episode when Pebbles grew up. Pebbles Flintstone.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're going.
She had her own show.
I didn't expect that one out
her and Bam Bam had their own show because they were a couple.
Yeah, I just did.
I don't know. Put me on the spot.
I spun it right back around to you.
It's either that or Daphne.
Daphne. Right. Cool.
Who is the Scooby Doo crew?
It's Daphne, Scooby. You had oh man, I'm seeing them in my head right now, and I'm not doing names.
All right.
We got Daphne. I mean, yeah, choice there. We're going down the cartoon character rabbit hole.
Hutch goes Jessica Rabbit.
You
like Jessica Rabbit?
So I did my girlfriend's a redhead. So I had the Jessica Rabbit Halloween. So yes, I'm a fan of Jessica Rabbit.
All right, there you go.
Yes, big fan.
My man Danny goes George Jetson.
It's another good one. Jetson's a quality show.
Yeah. Shaggy and Velma.
Velma. There you go.
Yeah. Thanks. Brendan had that one. VG goes Josie and the Pussycats. You know that one?
I don't know that
That's
one.
An old one. That's like an old one.
We got a little.
Oh, the Tunis. I know the Tunis is. He's already chopping a bit because next week he and I will do the field. What's up?
What's up? Have you heard about the Velma? You were talking about the Scooby-Doo characters?
Yeah.
Velma? You know, she's kind of like the nerdy one in the group.
Yeah.
That's become like the big kink for a lot of people now.
You know what? I actually saw something some story about
started
that.
Like 2 years ago, and now that's like the big Halloween costume.
Right. I did. That's right.
The cosplay.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's crazy. That like Velma, not the other one, not the red hair. Like where you go, all right, no, Velma.
Well, she like the other one. Daphne looked like a movie star.
Yeah, but no, Velma. Velma is taking over the scene, man.
Yeah, I don't kind of get it, to be honest with you.
Well, when it's done right. You don't like the big glasses?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Listen, I go with the obvious. I mean, if you're going to go with the obvious, I would go with the obvious.
Man, you got to find the diamond in the rough. You know, you got to find Maxey, 21st overall. So you go Velma.
Well, I'd rather just take Embiid, right?
Yeah, but you got to deal with all the injury concerns.
Listen, I'm sure Daphne's high maintenance. I'm guessing she's high maintenance.
Velma just shows up, just does her job, just like Maxey.
Yeah.
Maxey just shows up. He gives you 20, goes home, he smiles. He's happy kid.
Velma's more like, she would be Tucker or like Pat Bev, like a role player.
Yeah, she's gritty.
Yeah.
She works hard, you know.
Right. Nah, I got to go. I'm sorry. I'm going to go the obvious. You're asking me to go the obvious. I'm going to go the obvious.
All right. That's fine. I like to dig deep.
I know you do. You I think you're overthinking it.
I'll give you a bust out.
What do you got?
For cute characters.
All right.
And this is weird. Don't judge me. Friend zone here. Babs Bunny from Space Jam. The original one.
No, I get that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They made her look
yeah, I get you.
more than just a rabbit.
No, she had funny, she had game.
She had spunk.
And she was a great cat, and she was cute.
Flipped her ears like the hair.
Yeah, no, listen, I see it.
Ear flip.
No, dude, I see it.
Saying.
I'm not judging. Listen, I got you.
Have a good day.
He asked me. I put it on Dickie Dunn. By the way, you know who? Did you see his doppelganger?
No.
Did you see Fargo?
No.
Yeah, you would see. What movie would he have seen? Tell him, Dickie Dunn.
I can't hear. I don't have the headphones.
Tell him.
You can't hear me.
Just tell him.
Oh, William H. Macy.
You hear that?
No.
William H. Macy.
Who's that?
You don't even know who it is? Oh, Tunis. Oh.
Who's this? William H.
He's an actor.
I know this guy.
Look for the younger
I
one.
can see it.
Younger one, all right? Did
He's
you
a
type in young with that?
William H. Macy. You've seen him in a million movies.
You give me Fargo, I give you Wild Hogs. The motorcycle
bro.
movie.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the movie that fit better with him. Of course, that's the one.
You don't. I can't believe you never saw Fargo.
No, but I saw Wild Hogs.
Which Wild Hogs?
That's the movie where he was in a biker gang.
William H. Macy was in a biker gang?
It wasn't a real biker gang.
Okay.
Ray Liotta was in it. John Travolta was in it.
Oh, that's
Marissa
horrible.
Tomei was in it.
Oh, yeah, that's
Tim
terrible.
Allen. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's a great crew.
No, it stinks.
That's bigger than
not-
Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Let's see. William H. Macy, IMDb. All right. Oh, dude, you are the best. Shameless.
Shameless. Yeah, that was
the
one where I
best.
recognized him from.
Yeah. Shameless is a great show.
Yeah.
But you look like a young William H. Macy.
Yes. As long as we continue to put the adjective in front of it, I'm good.
Clean cut.
Yeah, not shameless version.
No, you're not the shameless version. You're the clean cut version. He's a good actor.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it's probably just the looks. I don't think I'm pulling off the acting thing like it. Went through this yesterday, but you know,
Yeah.
I'll take the looks. I'll take the young William H. Macy.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't really understand the Velma thing, but hey, God
Yeah,
bless.
man. Hey, what you know?
You're a Velma man too?
No, you go Daphne in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd just go. I don't know. I mean, everybody has their own type, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you do you. If that's what
Right.
you want to do, hey, I'm not gonna blame you.
Yeah.
But now, every Halloween I might be taking a second look if I pass a Velma on the street. Oh, she's got one like that. I got you. Okay.
Elijah, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Elijah,
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
what's going on, Elijah?
Not much. So, for the top cartoon characters, I actually have three for y'all. Three giants, actually.
Oh yeah,
So,
what you got?
yeah. All right, so earlier, I was talking about Bugs Bunny, but no one brought up my man Daffy Duck, though.
Daffy Duck. Wow, Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He's a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's bigger, Daffy or Donald?
Ooh.
Who's the bigger duck?
Oh, man. You got me on that one. That was pretty funny, too. But you know what, though? Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to give it. It's by a little bit, too, but I'm going to have to slightly give it to Daffy.
Okay. Daffy it is.
Yeah.
Daffy greater than Don.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the name Daffy, too, is a much better name.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
All due respect to Don Cheadle, you know.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus on top of that, Daffy, he was just crazy, hilarious.
Yeah, he was Daffy. That's what it was. Yeah, sure.
All right. So my other two, we got Daffy. My second one, Peter Griffin.
Yes. Family Guy. Yep.
Yeah, Peter, oh my God. There's nothing else to say about him. We all know about him.
Yes.
My last one.
He needed a beating, though. Like, he would be a guy. Peter Griffin would be a character you want to beat up.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
He was funny, but he was also...
He was a Patriots fan. Celtics.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? He needed to get slapped, Peter Griffin.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That episode where he wanted to go look for Tom Brady, I was like, why are we giving this man so much clout? It annoyed me so bad. Like, we get it. You live with Boston. All right, cool.
That's awesome. So what else you got? Who's your other third one?
So my last one, biggest one of all, Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
Well, you think that's after my time. I don't know him. Who's this?
His name is Goku. He's a Dragon Ball Z character. It's an anime show.
Goku. My Anthony will know that. He watched that. Goku. You like Goku, Dickie Dunn?
I never got into the anime. I had college roommates that would be all in on the Goku. But
all right. I'll put him down there for you, brother. Goku.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course, man. You got it. You got FanFest tickets? You coming to FanFest?
Oh, yeah, I got tickets. Real fast. You guys are talking about cartoon crushes?
Yes. Who'd you have?
So really quick, our cartoon crush, I've always loved her since I was a kid. I'm going to go with Nani from Lilo and Stitch.
Yes, there you go. That's pretty good.
She is so cute.
My man. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. That's a good choice. All right, brother. Excellent call. As always, good stuff. Now, your number one, you never answered it. Dickie Dunn, you threw it back at me.
I did throw it back at you. I would go. Yeah, I was big Princess Jasmine.
Oh, yeah. Dude. Yeah, actually, she would be a number one piece.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%.
Actually, you're right.
Yep. Big time childhood crush there.
Yeah, dude, that's a great call by you.
That's why I needed to throw it back at you. I needed to take a step back and start to evaluate.
Actually, guess what? I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, I would make her a number one seed in my eyes.
I went down to Disney. I got the picture with Princess Jasmine. You know, she knows where to find me. She give me a call.
I gotta tell you, I'm impressed. Yeah,
every once in a while, I get something right here.
Dude, listen, you're gonna go Princess Jasmine or Velma.
Oh, Princess Jasmine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
610.
Come on. Let's be real.
All right, we got one more segment to hang. Glenn wants to talk about Phillies problems. I got Heavy talking about the Eagles and the Phillies. Cannot wait, man. Football. Oh my God. Percy and Johnny are all about cartoons. We got all kinds of stuff happening today. Crazy day. We started very deep with the Jalen Hurts stuff, and we have devolved into some fun stuff with the cartoon characters right here. Cuz Radio, Dickie Dunn in for the Tunis will be here at 2 with the bro. And they are absolutely killing it. Right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies take 2 of 3 from the Orioles. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by SleepHealthyPA.com. Do you snore? Maybe you think you have sleep apnea. Check out SleepHealthyPA.com. Finally, a sleep solution you've been looking for. That's SleepHealthyPA.com. The Phillies won 6-4 last night over the Orioles. Trey Turner sat. Mundo Sosa got the start at shortstop, and he made his presence known in the 7th with a go-ahead, a home run. Jake Cave got the start in left field, making a great catch to save a run up against the wall in a multi-hit game. And the Phillies 6-4 victory. They take 2 of 3 over one of the best teams in the American League. A day off today before a 3-game set in Pittsburgh this weekend. Eagles camp is open. Jalen Hurts, we found out this week, turned down quarterback not once, but twice. The famous Netflix show that showcased 3 quarterbacks he's turned down season 1 and season 2. Elsewhere in camp, rookies Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith were the 2 that people had noted impressing over the first day of practice. Jeff McClain joined the show earlier to talk all things Eagles camp and get ready for this Eagles season. Catch that conversation at 97.5thefanatic.com. This update's also brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and then get you back on the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Keep it locked right here for all the latest news and information. I'm Ray Dunn for 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. FanFest 2023 is Saturday, August 26th at Xfinity Live with FanDuel Sportsbook. Go to 975thefanatic.com for details and ticket rate info.
FanFest 2023 is brought to you by Sal's Barbershop. Experience the VIP treatment at Sal's Barbershop. 9 locations in the Philadelphia suburbs.
And 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Every business deserves a great deal. That's why, for a limited time, we're launching the Mobile Made Free event. With Comcast Business Internet, new and existing customers can get 1 year of unlimited mobile for free. Yep, you heard that right. An entire year, free. It's our best internet, powered by the next generation 10G network and with 99.9% reliability. Plus 1 line of free mobile for a year. The Mobile Made Free event is happening now.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle. Call or go online to learn more. Offer ends 9/21/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments. New 50 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Mobile offer requires 100 megabits per second internet and new unlimited intro-mobile service.
You can feel the excitement in the air.
You could say that again.
You can feel the excitement in the air.
Okay, Jim. Folks, welcome to the No Money Down Finals at your Volkswagen destination.
Volkswagen of Springfield.
No one has to lay up any cash here.
That's right. No money down and 1.9% financing. It's a slam dunk of a deal.
Just look at that selection of brand new Volkswagen.
Oh, and coming off the bench, certified pre-owned with an extended factory warranty.
Yes, at Volkswagen of Springfield.
Oh, and look at that. Maintenance is no charge for 3 years.
Ooh, nobody saw that one coming.
And they want to help with any credit situation.
Make the fast break.
To your Volkswagen destination, Volkswagen of Springfield.
VWPhilly.com.
VWPhilly.com.
Hey, that's a travel.
They stopped calling that years ago.
Plus tax tag and license to qualified buyers. Call 610-440.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. With offices throughout the country, people often ask me where my headquarters are. Some lawyers like to say that I live in Florida. Well, I also live in Maui, and some days, New Hampshire. When you call America's largest injury firm, you get the backing of a national firm, along with a dedicated team from your community, handpicked by us. Think of it as the best of both worlds. By the way, my headquarters, it's wherever I'm sleeping that night. Morgan & Morgan. For the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Don't miss a minute of great music this summer at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Fall Out Boy with Bring Me the Horizon and many more August 6th. Sublime with Rome and Slightly Stupid August 20th. Nickelback with Brantley Gilbert August 29th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. Secure box seating and VI Club access today by contacting Philly Premium Seating at LiveNation.com.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus Next Day Energy with melatonin plus extended release B vitamins.
Summertime, baseball and golf season are in full swing, plus so much more. BetParx is an official betting operator of the PGA Tour. Plus, the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app follows you to the shore and the mountains. It's all right in the palm of your hand. Odds, bets, slots, and games. All new users bet $10 and get $125 in Sportsbook bonus if your first bet wins. BetParx.com has terms and conditions. New users and winning bets only. Sports bonus bet must be wagered once. See website for details. Must be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For over 85 years, Citadel Credit Union has been a trusted financial institution in the greater Philadelphia area. They help people build a brighter financial future. And now they're partnering with us, 97.5 The Fanatic, to support our upcoming charity golf classic benefiting the AACR. Citadel is
All right, 120 across the Delaware Valley. What'd you learn today, Dickie Don? You're going on vacation. You're going to Wildwood? Where are you going? Or Sea Isle, man. Or wait, Ocean City?
I'm a Wildwood man. I went to Sea Isle last weekend, stayed at a buddy's place.
I knew you were a Wildwood man, but I also had Sea Isle on the brain.
Right. That's because, we talked about the guys' weekend. Had a nice time last weekend. Maybe a little too much of a good time. But this weekend, I'm fleeing the country. So I'll be gone.
Where you going?
Punta Cana.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
a little Punta Cana.
Yeah, not bad.
Dominican Republic.
No, I know some people were thinking, hey, maybe Uncle Frank convinced him to go down to Puerto Rico for the weekend. Not quite. No, Punta Cana for this one. So, yeah.
Nice, dude.
Good time.
Who's that, you and your girl going?
No, family. Got the family going. So,
nice.
A little family trip action. We'll go with some of the neighbors. So, it should be a good time.
Really?
Looking forward to it. So, yeah, I'll be back sometime next week.
Oh, man.
Unless, I just stay in that case.
You're not staying. You got work to do, cuz.
Poolside bartender,
Nah, you're not doing that. You got a big, career ahead of you.
We'll come back. I'll be back. Don't worry.
Nah, listen, you're not there yet.
No.
Dude, you got to start, you got another 10 years of the grind ahead.
Oh, I know.
You got to be grinding it.
That's why we're taking the next 3-4 days. We'll
that's the only part of it. You got to grind.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ready for the grind. Except for tomorrow.
You'd be good for the grind. Enjoy yourself. That'll be fun, man.
Nothing like the 6 o'clock in the morning airport beer.
Oh, dude, look at this. My man Brendan sends me this. Brendan Petrilli, our fine. Love Brendan. Here. Works for us and all the Beasley stations. There was an Eagles tweet. You ready? From the Philadelphia Eagles. And all it says is, interrupting your memes. And it's a picture of the Eagles' Kelly Green. The Eagles' Kelly Green jersey. With the bird on the sleeve. Ow! It looks outrageous.
As if you need anything more to get you ready for football season.
Where's the Judas? I want to hit him. Look at it. Kelly Green, hashtag Kelly Green is back. Damn.
So when are we getting the release?
Oh, my God. July 31st.
Oh, man. Monday.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
That's a great green.
Oh, that'll be fun.
What a great green. What a great green.
How much you think they're going to sell that in the first week?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Damn. Let's go to Heavy. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Have.
Yeah, boys. What's good?
What is it, Have?
Man, I just love hearing this stuff about Jalen Hurts, man, because we finally got a quarterback in this town who's not about the drama. And he just seems like he's all about winning. That's all he cares about. That's
Yes, that's right. And you don't care about whether or not he's on a Netflix show, do you?
Dude, I don't watch Netflix, man. Like, who cares about Netflix, man? All I care about is that he shows up on Sunday and wins, and that's what he's going to do.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
But I do want to mention something about the Phillies, man. That was an awesome series. I mean, they kind of gave away that first game, but winning two against arguably the second best team in the AL right now. That's huge, and it just looks like they're finally coming together, and I'd like to see Schwarber finally start to play a little better right now. But looks like Bohm and Stott and Harper's finally looks like he's getting his power back. I think this team is going to start going on a big win streak here. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I can see it, man. Listen, taking a couple wins the last 2 days, coming back, you beat a good Baltimore team. Listen, I'll be honest with you, brother. Baseball's such a long season, and I'm not saying you don't get caught up in mistakes and everything else, because that's all part of the fun and the whole part of the thing. But when I look at this team, it would be a travesty if they missed the playoffs. Seriously, they can't miss the playoffs. If they miss the playoffs, it would be a complete meltdown with the talent they have on this team and its payroll.
Oh yeah, there's no way that's happening. I don't even want to.
Agree, exactly.
And I just can't wait to see who they get at this trade deadline, because I'm hoping it's a huge deal.
I don't think it's going to be a huge deal.
I'm hoping it is. But
now again, would you be? I don't know what your like. What's your definition of a huge deal? Like, give me a name.
I mean, I don't want to start dropping names, but I want somebody who's going to make make a serious impact on this team. And
in other words, if you're, by the way, the Angels have taken Ohtani off the trade market.
That wasn't ever going to happen.
I agreed. I agree with you. Plus I think this is a lot of smoke. But anyway, Goldschmidt's not happening. But a guy like Hunter Renfroe, I mean, I could see that happening. It's a right-handed power bat outfielder. Like, I could see that for the balance of the lineup, and I would be thrilled with that.
Yeah, I mean, I want a right-handed bat that's going to produce some runs, and
all right,
whoever
that.
they get, I hope it has an impact on this team, because you need. Dude, I'll tell you what, man. I love Rojas, man. I don't know where they found that kid, but he's killing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's a kid. He's good, promising, good ball player, decent little ball player. You need playoffs. You need. I'll be honest with you, Hev. You need like proven players, I think Rojas. And again, he showed me something. But again, you need you're going to be going toe to toe with Atlanta. You got to fortify the lineup.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, Rojas, nice story, nice start, enjoying it.
Yep.
But if you're just, hey, we've seen this guy for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and we're cool with it, I'm not cool with that.
Yep. Let's go to Glenn in Center City. Wants to talk fightings. Yep. What's up, Glenn?
Let me tell you something, man. Let me get you off the speaker here. I'm in the Wawa. I'm about to be loud.
Oh, nice.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I got you, brother.
Okay, listen. I'm not calling about the Phillies. I'm calling about all these cartoons you guys are talking about. And I'm about to get on a plane like maybe at 8 o'clock tonight to go to that Spence fight. I can't wait to see that.
Oh, are you really? You're going to the fight?
My son got it for me as a Father's Day gift surprise.
Oh, dude, what a kid.
Yeah. So I can't wait to go, baby.
Oh, that's fantastic. You got to call me when you come back. Let me know about the fight.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely be your correspondent, because it's going to be a lot of stars down there.
Oh, yeah. That's the biggest fight. Are you kidding me? That's the biggest fight in the last couple years. Yes.
Down there.
Yeah.
But let me just give you a quick synopsis on some cartoons. No one said Johnny Quest. No one said Johnny Quest is the first cartoon to come on at 1966 at 8 p.m. That's the first prime time cartoon. And no one ever said Speed Racer as well. I mean, what people don't know about the real cartoon? I mean, these are violent cartoons.
I don't know Johnny Quest. Who was Johnny Quest?
Johnny Quest was with his dad and his bodyguard, and his little dog, and his.
He the bodyguard, Johnny Quest?
Yeah.
Was he a big shot?
His dad was a government agent. I mean, government science. So his mom died. They had to protect him.
Oh, wow.
And
what was Quest? He was like a superhero kind of dude?
Not really. He was just like a kid that was like getting in a lot of trouble.
Oh.
His dad was like finding all these different types of, like the bad guys were trying to steal rockets and.
Oh, okay.
And
Quest was in the middle of it.
Hey, here's another cartoon. A lot of people don't. They sleep on it a lot. You ever see the Lone Ranger cartoon in 1966?
No, brother. The Lone Ranger cartoon. You're going classic.
That cartoon was violent as hell.
Wow.
Like Johnny Quest, Speed Racer, and Lone Ranger.
I remember Speed Racer.
Yeah, Speed Racer.
Go Speed Racer, go.
They were only cartoons where people got actually murdered in.
Yes. Wow. Really? People start getting whacked?
Yeah, people got whacked in Johnny Quest and Lone Ranger.
Really?
Yeah, Speed Racer. Yeah.
Well, not Speed Racer. People got whacked in Speed Racer?
Yeah.
Really?
Look at this. It's an episode called Dangerous Witness. Just look it up.
Wow, Dangerous Witness.
Villains. They kill everybody.
Really?
There's a bunch of female villains. They kill everybody. It's called Dangerous Witness.
You're amazing, Glenn. You know the history of the cartoon. I'm impressed.
I'm a cartoon buff. You mentioned earlier about Pebbles growing up. It was Pebbles and Bam Bam with Bad Lip Rock and all them cats.
Yes.
And all that. Yeah, I know all my cartoons.
Yeah, you do. You are a cartoon man. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, but I can't wait to go to the fight, man.
Dude, I got good news for you. Somebody just sent me this. A buddy of mine just said that Johnny Quest will be adapted by a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, because I heard The Rock's supposed to play Race Bannon. Race Bannon was his bodyguard. He was a monster.
Oh, really? Okay, The Rock's in on that? Oh, wow.
I would love to listen. In the cartoon land, I would love to see Race Bannon fight Racer X on Speed Racer. That would be an ultimate fight.
All right. Wow, look at that. Oh, dude, you're impressive, man. You are. I love it. All right, G, listen, do me a favor. Make sure you have a great time at the fight. And then tell me all about it, man. Make a list of all the celebrities, too.
Yeah, I'll be your correspondent when I get down there.
All right. I like it.
Okay.
All right, brother. Thanks, buddy. Look at that. Going to that big fight. That's a great fight.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
That's a great gift, also. I mean,
how about his son?
Yeah.
Coming up strong. Sending his father to that fight.
That's a great
That's
gift.
big time right there. You got to be kidding me. Wow, look at this. All kinds of people are going crazy over this.
We got one from Kevin Cooney asking if we had got Wilma. We talked Fred Flintstone, didn't talk Wilma Flintstone.
No, well, it's the character. I think Wilma, unfortunately, doesn't make the cut.
Second tier.
I mean, if you're going to pick somebody else from the Flintstones, you got to go Barney Rubble, no?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, she's not.
You got to go Barney.
I would agree. I'm just passing
I'm not trying to be misogynist, but if you just look at it face value, Rubble had a bigger role.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah,
leading the show.
Now, when at the next iteration of it, it was Pebbles. Pebbles over Bam Bam. He was just all, steroids. And Pebbles was the brains. But before that, I hate to say it, but you got to go Rubble over Wilma.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And Betty was just, she's just Wilma's friend, right?
Yeah.
VG said Wilma was a nag. Oh, people are crazy. I love it. Percy, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Purse.
Yo, Ant, what's going on, player?
What's good, Purse?
Man, I'm looking forward to the upcoming season of the Eagles. But, I took and talked to the producer. How did y'all get everybody from Scooby-Doo and you forgot what you call his boyfriend?
Who?
Freddie.
Fred was the worst. Of all the characters, he was the worst, Fred.
He was just rolling with him like,
you know what I mean?
Come on, man.
Fred, now, let me ask you a question. If you want to take a shot at any of those characters, right? Or are you either Shaggy or Fred? You're going to go after, or Scooby-Doo. You're going to go after Fred. You want to give Fred a shot. You want to knock him out, right or wrong?
Right. Because
you got any nerves, Fred.
It was really just Scooby and
Shaggy. Yeah.
You know, Daphne.
Daphne was eye candy. Yeah.
That's why I always thought Freddie was like rolling with her. And everybody was right. You know, what they call him is the outcast one. With
yes.
What's her name?
Velma.
Yeah, Velma.
Yeah.
And my man, I was listening earlier. Yeah, they bringing out costumes for her. She is the one that you really do need to be like rolling with. But I don't understand how y'all forget Freddie.
No, you're right. I'll be honest with you. I just didn't like the dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got no love for Fred.
Yeah,
I mean, Shaggy was a stoner. Like, you would like Shaggy. Like, he didn't mean no harm, Shaggy.
Right.
He's a pacifist.
And my man, the caller that just went off, he did bring up a show, and you down with it. Speed Racer, man.
Yes.
Come on, the Mark 5.
Go,
man.
Speed Racer, go.
Yeah, that car was awesome. And his brother, Racer X.
Yeah, he was the coolest, Racer X.
Yeah. And he always was in the back seat.
Yeah, Racer X. Well, you know what's funny? Isn't it true? Like, if you put the letter X, it's just got a cool factor to it.
Yes, it do.
So then you just go Racer X, and he's a bit of a bad guy. You go, he's got a cool Racer X.
Yeah, cool. He was one of them bad guys that you actually can root for.
Yes, I agree.
That's what I'm talking about, and I love y'all, man. But can I ask you for a favor, man?
Anything, Purse, anything.
I get some fan fest tickets.
Indeedy do.
Man.
Hold on, my brother. Get your Fan Fest tickets right here. Get your Fan Fest tickets. Whatever you need. You call, you ask, and you got them.
We got a couple of good ones rolling in social media-wise. Wile E. Coyote.
Wile E. Coyote is a legend, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go with that one. We got Garfield.
Yeah. Lasagna eating cat.
And then the one else, Pikachu was another one we got.
Pikachu. Yeah. Pikachu. All right. I got them all up because we're going to do the fields.
We might have enough to do an NIT.
Yeah.
Get the selection committee together.
How about this? Freddie always split the gang up to look for clues, yet he always slips out with Daphne looking for a vacant room in a haunted mansion. I don't know, dude. You think so?
Trying to get his minute alone with Daphne?
Well, I don't blame him, but with I always thought he was a corny guy.
Yeah.
He was not after Daphne.
He's trying to pull off the cool factor, not trying to be a little bit too much around them.
Yes. Let's go to where we at? Johnny, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Johnny.
Yo, cuz, what's going on?
What's up, John?
Just a couple quick things before we talk about the cartoon. One, it's that time of year, cuz, go Birds.
Dude. Did you see? You got to see this Eagles tweet and
I just shared it on my Instagram story.
Oh,
the Cali Green. It's all you see. You got the music playing. In the
yes.
Monday.
Yes.
Listen, I'm gonna have to buy a dozen jerseys in the Cali Green. Cuz.
Yes.
You got to get the Jalen. You got to get, of course, you got to get a Lane Johnson, maybe a Jason Kelsey, a big play Slay, a BG. This might be his last year.
Classic BG. I agree. Yes.
Number 55 looking clean in the Kelly green.
Yes.
But listen, that I'm pumped for that too. The second thing, welcome back from the motherland. I hope you had a great time.
Beautiful, man. It was
2 years ago. And I got to Naples, and I woke up it's like alleyways and stuff. I woke up there with my Airbnb. I look at my wife. She's American. You know what I mean? She's Irish. I go, it even smells like 9th Street. She goes, what do you mean? I said, it smells like 9th. I said, these people, my great-grandparents left here dirt poor. I said, we're going to do the same thing we're doing in Italy. We're going to do it in America. And that's what they did.
It's true. It's funny. I was, my wife does the travel business, right? Like with our man Vince from Philly Sports Trips. It's GarganoTravelGroup.com is the website. Right? So anyway, we're there and we're in Naples, and I'm looking at the culture, right? And I'm like, the Italian-American culture definitely comes from Naples.
Oh, yeah.
You could see, you're right on. Like, the fact that you were there, you noticed the same thing I did. Like, it felt really similar. And it did feel like 9th Street. I'm with you every bit of the way, John.
Yeah, no, it was definitely beautiful there. The hills, I can understand why Dominic was a donkey now. Because the hills in Naples, I'm a little bit heavier guy. I'm struggling. Good thing they came to, South Philly's very flat. I said, good thing they came here. I would have made it in Naples. I wouldn't have survived.
It's fantastic. That's awesome. No, it's incredible. Incredible. Yeah, I can't believe you call that Kelly Green. It's got me, man. I can't wait for this season.
Cause it got me. I'm already pumped. I saw they've been teasing it with the memes. That's what they meant. Falls in your meme content. They were teasing it. And everyone was like, when they drop it, and when they drop, and they give them another little teaser just to get the hype a little bit more. They give them a little teaser, like, here's a little taste. You'll get the rest on Monday. But listen, on the cartoon character real quick, and I actually called until Dickie Dunn ended up bringing it up. I'm sitting there I'm going, how are these guys? This guy is the tournament number 1 overall. And Dickie Dunn brought him, it's Mickey Mouse. And the reason you guys didn't think of Mickey Mouse is he's superseded being a cartoon. He's a cultural icon. He started as a cartoon 100 years ago.
He has his own house.
He's American. You think of America, you think of Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
He's the 72 Bruins with Bill Walton. He runs away with the field. He's the overall number 1, undefeated going into the final. I believe that wholeheartedly. Mickey Mouse is an American icon now.
I'll give you the number 1 overall seed should be Mickey Mouse. I agree.
Has to be. Has to be.
No, it's a great argument. Great argument. Has his own theme park.
Yeah. Of course, several theme parks.
Yeah.
Several.
Across the world.
Listen, I'll leave you guys with one last thing. Obviously, it's hot today. It's going to be hot tomorrow, a little bit hot on Saturday. Please make sure if you guys have everyone out there, if you have elderly family members, please make sure you check up on them.
Yes.
In the heat. Please make sure you're
a good man, Johnny.
The fans on.
Do you have the FanFest tickets, John?
I have FanFest tickets. I'm bringing my buddy Matt. He said, wow, FanFest is going to be wild this year. He texted me. I literally got in my car to go to work. John Kincaid said, call in and get FanFest tickets. I called, boom, got them right there.
Nice.
So me and my buddy Matt will be at FanFest. Looking forward to it, man.
Love it. I love it. Yeah, great message. Great call. Thanks, my brother. Appreciate it, man. Very good. Let's go to T-Love. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. T-Love.
Yo, what's going on?
What's crackulating, T-Love?
Yeah, but hey, listen, welcome back, man. Hey, let me tell you something, man. It's so wonderful to have a connection, man, to your heritage, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, I really, really, really enjoy hearing you talk about that, man.
Thanks, brother.
That's something, my people don't really have.
No, and it's tough because you got robbed of that.
Yeah, man, and but I ain't called you to bring down the
show. But that's all part of it. I'm with you, T-Love. It's different because when you go there and you see it, and you realize, this is where the roots are. Like, it's part of it,
Yeah, man. Cherish that, man, and teach it to your kids, man. Yeah, hey, listen. I was going to go into a great game. You got me on this cartoon. When you start talking cartoons, man, I'm Mickey Mouse, is the godfather of all cartoons.
Yes,
that's the one that started it all with the animation factor. Steamboat Willie is the first animated cartoon. Now, if you from a different era, after him was Popeye and Bugs.
Yes.
Actually, before Bugs, it was Porky Pig and Daffy. You know, that whole great Warner Brothers thing, man, was off the chain.
I forgot about Porky Pig. He's got to be in the field.
Yeah, but you know what? He doesn't appeal to the generations that came after.
Nah, listen, Porky Pig gets turned into roast pork, right? But he's got to be in the field, nonetheless.
He's got to be in the field. But see, you got the whole Warner Brothers crew. You got Bugs, Daffy. You know, I guess you got to figure out what to do with them. If you came after the 70s, they don't have a major appeal to you, like Popeye. You know what I mean? I wanted a can of spinach until I saw what it tasted like. You know what I mean? I wanted to eat spinach, but
you wanted to be all swole.
I hate it to this day, man. I can't eat no spinach, man. But let me. I just want to correct my man. The Flintstones was the first animated primetime cartoon, not Johnny Quest. I used to love Johnny Quest. It was the Flintstones.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Primetime animated cartoon.
Very good. That's good. That's good cartoon knowledge, T-Love.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen. I can go farther than that, man. My man, Wee Willie Weber. Listen, you're in radio, man. You got to know that guy.
I remember the name. Yeah, he was him and the Captain Kangaroo.
One Captain Kangaroo. We're talking about Philly.
Or Captain Noah. Who was Captain? Who's Philadelphia? Captain Noah?
Captain Noah was Philly, but
right.
You know what? I was a little bit too old for Captain Noah when he came around. My thing was Sally Star.
So you got a little bit on me. That's right. Yeah. I hear you, brother.
I was a big Sally Star fan, and that's where I got Popeye and
I got you.
Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse and all of them cats. You know.
I like Courageous Cat. That's a great name. T-Love, you're the man, buddy. Appreciate it, my brother. We got to move. I got my man, John Brazier, director of Philly Fun and Games for the Phillies. We usually hang with Brazier on Friday, but the Brazier, we're doing a hang with him today. What's up, Brazier?
Aunt, send your pictures to dear old Captain Noah.
Do you remember? I think of like that era of when we were kids and all, and the Phillies were right there with it. Like, because like Channel 17, the Phillies used to be on Channel 17.
Yep. I met Captain Kangaroo.
He was the one with the mustache, right? He had the mustache.
Yep, silver hair, mustache, yeah. So, all good. But, Ant, how about those Fighting Phils? Big series against the Orioles. Comeback win, which we needed 2 nights ago. And then last night, just love to see the bottom of the order, which has been doing it all year, but with different guys. Last night, Jake Cave making it wasn't quite an Aaron Rowan type catch, but I tell you what.
No, it was a good catch, man. Yeah.
Really good catch. And what I loved about that is that after he made the catch, he looked up in the stands and he just pumped his fist at, I guess, one of the Philly fans. And then you could hear his words saying, "Let's blanking go," to, I guess it was Marsh who came over. So love it. Big series. The Orioles, as we had talked about before.
No, good team, man. No,
really good team.
I love the fact. Listen, I mean, you know how we are. We're always going to be. We're neurotic, right? Yep. As a fan base, that's kind of who we are. But all that said, the fact of the matter is, baseball, you're going to have some down moments. So it was good to get out of it and kind of, and all of a sudden, look, things get a little easier. You got the Buccos coming up, and then you got the Marlins, and it's a good time to catch the Marlins.
Well, I think they said I think Matt Gelb had tweeted out that the next 14 games are against Pittsburgh, Marlins, Kansas City, and Nationals.
Yes.
So that's a good way to kind of start really making up ground, because some of these teams, the Marlins aren't playing well right now. Some of those teams themselves are not only not great record now, but theoretically they should be selling off. So you might not even have, Nationals might be trading Lane Thomas, and Pirates might be trading some of their, pitchers. So we should even get a weaker team. But you need to take advantage of those teams that you're supposed to be.
Yeah, and I think, listen, we've talked before about how, we both agree that this team is a good team and a playoff team. I think the goal for me going into this kind of next stretch, like the final third of the season type of thing, is I would love to see Trey Turner kind of get right. So the fact to get a couple days off, I'd love to see him go to Pittsburgh and just start to get hot. Start to just get a couple knocks, get on the road to being who he can be, because you know what kind of dynamic ball player he is. And if he can give you during the stretch of August, September, and wake up, that would be a huge deal.
I totally agree with you. And it's interesting. The Orioles announcers, radio announcers, before Bryce hit his line drive home run, were talking about how Bryce doesn't have the pop, this and that. And next thing you know, literally 2 pitches later, he hits one out. So hopefully he gets cooking, and he's already starting to. Last night was a great sign to see JT Realmuto.
Yeah.
I mean, that double he had, and he had some really good at-bats yesterday. Hopefully that's a good for what's to come up. And you're right, Trey Turner, he's too good not to. I mean, he's got the track record. So, he just needs to get it. Maybe the 2 days rest will help. And then he, gets into Pittsburgh. I'll be at the Pittsburgh game. Going to be down there with Tommy Green and Mickey Morandini. My buddy Pat Rooney is taking us out golfing tomorrow at Oakmont. So it's going to be a pretty epic weekend.
Oh, dude, that's fantastic.
Yeah, not bad.
That's really cool, man.
And another thing, how about this one? Mike Elias, who's the general manager for the Orioles. Did you know that there's 2 general managers in Major League Baseball that worked in our phone center as interns?
Get out of here.
Mike Elias and A.J. Preller worked in our phone center as interns, and then they went off to become, obviously successful GMs.
You got to be kidding me.
No,
I didn't know.
So
and AJ, I didn't know AJ.
A.J. Preller. So
Yeah.
I was thinking I should have started in the phone center, right?
Yeah, you would have been a GM, no fun and games.
Director, I wouldn't be talking to you, Ann. Well, I'd be talking to you in a different capacity.
Yeah. Now here's the question. You're talking to me in a different capacity. Are you guarded? Like, are you doing a Ruben? When Ruben Amaro was GM, he'd have the sunglasses on, right?
Right.
And he would be staring at the field. Even if there was nobody on the field, right? He would be staring at the field, and he would never look at you when he would answer the question with his sunglasses on. I go, Rube, what do you think about Roy Halladay, whatever? And he'd go, and he would never keep his eyes off the field.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've known Ruben since high school. We played soccer against each other as seniors, rival schools. Here's another one, Ann. I got another good one for you. So last night was German Heritage Night. We have German Heritage Night every year, and we always have an accordion player named Don Bitterlich. Okay, he performed with the Fanatic on the dugout, 7th inning last night. Don Bitterlich goes down in history as scoring the first points in Seattle Seahawks franchise history. He was their first kicker. He made a field goal, and then he missed the next 3 and got cut. But Don Bitterlich.
Wow, that's a ridiculous trivia question.
Has the first points ever in Seattle Seahawks history.
Oh,
so
my God.
Next year, when you come to German Heritage Night, you'll have to meet Don Bitterlich.
I want to meet Don.
Right.
I want to share a brat with Don. Or that's more Polish. Yeah, that's awesome, man. These are great trivia questions. You are a man of great trivia knowledge. Like the useless knowledge, you have great useless knowledge.
Yes, useless being the key word.
Yeah, but I will say this: it's highly entertaining.
I hope so.
It's not done for naught. Like your useless knowledge is great.
Well, I appreciate that, Ant.
My brother, listen, have a great time this weekend, man. It's going to be awesome.
All right, should be a big trip, and I'll tell you all about it next week.
Look forward to it, brother. Be safe.
Right,
have fun.
You got it.
All right, pal. Here he is, John Brazier, director of Fun and Games. For the Fighting Phillies, we wrap with Brazier every week. Always a lot of fun. And that's going to do it for us. For Dickie Dunn and I. Dickie Dunn, I bid you a farewell.
Oh, thank you.
You did a great job.
Appreciate it.
Excellent work. Stay tuned. The Bro and the Tunis coming up next. Don't go anywhere. In for Tyrone and the best show ever. So everybody, thanks for hanging. We love you. We'll be back later for Cuz's Corner, and we'll see you in the morning.
Fanatic Sports Update.
2-3 from the Orioles. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by TeethKeepers.com. Dominion National offers dental and vision plans for everyone starting under $8 a month at TeethKeepersSave.com. Enroll today at TeethKeepersSave.com. The Phillies won 6-4 over the Orioles last night. Trey Turner sat Edmundo Sosa getting the start at shortstop, and he made his presence known with a go-ahead home run in the 7th. Jake Cave started in left field, made a great catch up against the wall to save a run. Also had a pair of hits in the game. Ranger Suarez on the mound, pitched 6 innings, struck out 6, allowing 4 earned. Gregory Soto got the save as the Phillies take 2-3 from one of the best teams in the American League. A day off today for them as they get set for a 3-game series in Pittsburgh this weekend. Eagles camp opened up this week. We found out Jalen Hurts turned down the Netflix series quarterback not once, but twice. We also saw that rookies Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith were reportedly the ones that impressed in the first day of practice. Jeff McClain joined the show earlier to talk all things birds and training camp. You catch that conversation at 97.5thefanatic.com. Keep it locked right here for all the latest news and information. I'm Ray Dunn for 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, it's Cuz. Does your wife tell you snoring's out of control? Listen, I urge you. Call my man, Dr. Andy Cohen. In fact, check out his site right now, sleephealthypa.com. Voted best of Philly for multiple years by his peers, Dr. Andy travels the country lecturing other doctors on the procedures and methods that he's been using for over a decade. He's a Philly guy. He's passionate. He's board certified in treating sleep disorders like snoring, sleep apnea, and he does it through a combination of dental appliances and laser therapy. I've seen him. Doesn't hurt. Dr. Andy gives his patients relief they haven't felt in years. Dr. Andy's simple dental appliances could be the answer for you. Find out for yourself. Go to sleephealthypa.com. Finally, a path to restful sleep is possible at sleephealthypa.com. Trust me, you're going to thank me. Your wife's going to thank me. Your doctor is going to thank me because of your health improvements. Go see the sleep doctor, Dr. Andy Cohen, sleephealthypa.com, and tell him Cuz sent you.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret,